right? If you're a fan that lost to Oakland, I find it hard to justify it myself because the way that they looked and the way that they played, but you can justify it more by, hey, you know what, not only did Oakland come in here and win, but they also went over there and beat the Bears in London. That easier to justify now? Are the Raiders winners of 2 consecutive? Colts beating the Chiefs. So where do you put the bar right now? Last week, a lot of you suggested that maybe you just go ahead and even this thing out at 8-8 and call it a day. Thinking that way? And the other thing I wanted to bring up involving the Colts going into the bye week is something we do every bye week year, no matter when it is. What's been good? What's been bad? Give me the negative and the positive at this point. What are you satisfied with? What are you happy with? What are you not so satisfied with? You know, it's funny. I wonder how many of you are going to come up with very few things that you're unhappy about. You want to know why? Because very few things went wrong in Kansas City, and that's what has most recently taken place. So a lot of you are probably going to err on the side of, yeah, I think everything's good. I mean, Eric Ebron, you guys are all going to bring up. I'm assuming that, right? And yesterday I brought up, just because there were 2 things that I felt were inadequate about that Sunday night game, was the efficiency in the red zone. They still scored, but you like to see them score 7, right? And then Eric Ebron, you know, the Eric Ebron of a year ago, come on down. You know, other than that, the only other thing I brought up was a part of that promo, and that is consistency. Just the consistency of it. And I said this at the start of the season. I think this team is good enough to beat anybody. I think this team can be inconsistent enough at times to lose to anybody. And we've kind of seen that so far. I mean, you could really, truly make the argument that they should be unbeaten if you want. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But, I mean, these are the bye week conversations that you get a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, your GOAT place kicker hits anything in week 1, get a win at the Chargers. And it was just a really bad game for them against Oakland. So if the consistency would have been there, at the very least, you could have squeaked past Oakland. At the very least, you could be 4-1. You can really make that argument other than 3-2. But you know what I mean. These are kind of the conversations you get into when you go into a bye week. But again, you're going into a bye week feeling really good. So the positives and the negatives dealing with the first 5 weeks of this NFL season. And for one, man, I'm glad you guys are on board. Listen, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I think a lot of you deserve it. I mean, maybe some of you are knobs. I don't know. Maybe you don't. But I think most of you deserve it, considering the type of junk you've had to put up with for a while. Last year was fun. Last year, late was really fun. But then, I mean, you know, as it's gone around here, you can't have good with just out a bunch of crap bad, and then, you know, the whole soap opera that transpired in the offseason going into camp, and then 2 weeks before the start of the season. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think a lot of you deserve that. You know, put up with that. Get a little positivity. And as I think we all know, positivity feels a hell of a lot better than just dwelling on the negative, and you guys would tend to tune out when too much of that takes place. So listen, I'm glad. I'm glad they're making a bit of a run. They made some headway and impressed on Sunday Night Football. Is this team capable of being consistent with a lot of the things they did on Sunday night? Running the football at a high level. Getting after the quarterback at a high level. Actually, I say high level. I'm not giving them enough credit for what they did against that offense. Defensively, I mean, that was an elite level performance. Running the football was at an elite level performance, and probably one of the chief reasons why nobody would tend to give them a great deal of credit is because I think everybody just considers Kansas City that team now that everybody and their mother can run on. Kind of like people felt about the Colts back in the day. You know, those days when Maurice Jones-Drew or Fred Taylor may run for 225 yards, but Jacksonville still lose. Right? Remember those days? Can they get enough defense to get it done? The offense is there. Can they get enough defense? Kind of similar to the conversation going on in Kansas City right now. Kansas City is getting ready for a game this weekend with the Houston Texans in town, too. We'll see how beaten up they are. Both sides of the football, but the good and the bad. And I'm assuming there's not going to be a lot of negative from you as far as the Colts are concerned, considering what you're going off of in that game on Sunday night. So if you guys want to bail in here, you can at 239-1070. Email address is JMV at 1070thefan.com. Always on Twitter at JMV1070 if you guys will want to drop in there. That's quite all right. The Monday Nighter was pretty awful last night. Listen, I don't know where to start on this whole Browns thing either. I mean, a lot of us were talking about how all this is going to work, and through 5 weeks, it hasn't worked. The team that is now 2-3 and really didn't even show up last night in San Francisco. I mean, you got a subpar performing, louder than usual mouth quarterback. You got a grunting and rub some dirt on it head coach, and then you got a diva wide receiver. Whoops, I don't know about it. We talked about how we didn't know about it, and so far this season, there's a lot that we know about it, and it wasn't working. Last night it didn't work. I don't know. People asking about how good San Francisco might be. I'm not sure. Who's that? That Matt Breida? Is that his name, Matt Breida, the running back? Did he really run on that touchdown run 22 miles an hour? Was that serious, Les? Did I see that, or I'm just a nerd? No, he did. He ran 22 miles an hour? 22. Anybody ever find out how fast you could run? Has anybody out there ever ran in the 20s? Oh, some of you couldn't even run in the points.
How fast do you think Usain Bolt ran in that 100-meter back? Was that 2008? How fast do you think he got?
I don't know. Do you have it in front of you?
I do.
Is it more than 22 miles an hour?
It is.
Did he run 29 miles an hour?
27.8.
I'm going to tell you what, for a running back with equipment and running with a football, that's damn good, though, man.
That's pretty fast.
That is fast. And he ran right by. You see people, he left people in a wake. Usain Bolt ran 29. That's Boat. Nice. Usain Bolt ran 29 miles an hour. That was impressive. 22 miles an hour for a running back carrying a football, hoping to outrun or maybe thinking about what he's going to do to make a move and dodge somebody while running from folks. That's impressive. That really is. 22 miles an hour. Anyway, Monday Nighter, and everybody's talking about Cleveland. Everybody's ripping Cleveland. More people would be ripping Cleveland if everybody wouldn't be ripping on Dallas. And more people would be ripping on Dallas if more people weren't ripping the NBA. More people would be ripping the NBA if more people weren't ripping Kansas for having Snoop Dogg. First of all, I've always said this. When you're going to hire Snoop Dogg to come play your Midnight Madness event or whatever, you're hiring Snoop Dogg here. I mean, you're not hiring Glass Tiger, for God's sake, all right? You're hiring Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg likely is going to do some Snoop Dogg things. However, I still didn't think it was that bad. Oh, what are we going to explain to the kids? And see, my kid, Lainey, who is 9, went to the Hoosier Hysteria. They did not have Snoop Dogg there, but she attended Hoosier Hysteria. I don't know if she would know what the dancing acrobats might be doing. I probably wouldn't explain it to her. I probably wouldn't say, well, that's just somebody sliding down a pole like they might at a strip club. And I probably wouldn't even say anything about it. Or they're shooting money from a, air cannon or whatever. I just say, you know what? This is what Dad used to listen to in the 1990s. This guy was with Dr. Dre. This is the stuff on the 90s at 9 that gets bleeped out. Had this album. But, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into, right? You don't hire Snoop Dogg and say, well, I hope we get a G performance here. I hope this is like the Disney Snoop Dogg. I mean, come on. It's pretty funny. Everybody lost it, and I thought everybody lost it for no reason. You've got to be kidding me. What are we going to do? Hey, listen. You watch any game, any college basketball game, any college football game, you cannot have a crowd shot on a negative moment on TV anymore without around 5 middle fingers coming out. I'm pretty sure Laney would know what that is. I wouldn't have to explain that to her. But seriously, I mean, you're sitting at home. How many middle fingers do you see? Let me give you a great example. And I don't think there was one. I didn't watch it. And I know Kyle over there watched it. So you got Auburn and you got Florida in the Swamp on Saturday. And let's say Auburn makes a big play and there was there was a bad call. The middle fingers are coming out. Or down there, the middle fingers are coming out like crazy. I think it's all going to be okay. Well, I didn't know he was going to do that. Wait a minute. Well, who the hell did you're hiring? You're hiring Snoop Dogg here. Well, you know what? We brought 2 Live Crew in. We had no idea they were going to do this. What is this me so horny jazz? Well, that's kind of what you get. So if you guys want to do that, we'll discuss it at 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. I was me so horny. Wait a minute. I didn't know that was happening. Did you know that Snoop Dogg had a doggy-style album? What? Come on. Anyway, the one thing we didn't talk about at length yesterday, I'm going to dive into a little bit. Coming up here in the 4 o'clock hour, Jeremiah Johnson, and even more so with me throughout the course of the show. And I said this a little bit yesterday, honestly, I don't think I have ever been as interested in a preseason NBA game in my stinking life as I was this past weekend. And, I mean, I didn't care too much about Mumbai, all right. And the hot chick that's married to one of the Jonas brothers that you went to see, what's her name? That's from North Central High School that we found out.
Priyanka.
I have no idea, but she is absolutely smoketacular. There's no question about that. Which Jonas brother?
Oh,
That's a nice get right there. All those guys are out kicking the coverage, but that guy especially.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, so, I mean, all that was, you went to see the Jonas brothers, so I thought you might know. That said, it wasn't for all that. I kind of tuned in to see how this team looked because there were so many new faces. And I'm going to tell you, 2 really interesting games that were completely different. You had the first morning, Friday morning, where things didn't start out well. They got down 19 points, came back, won in overtime, 131-130. And then you have a really dominating preseason performance. But there is a lot to like. Now, I know a lot of this is hope and a belief that this translates to the regular season and can go longer term, right? But was anybody else with me on that? Did you get a chance to watch it? I don't know how many of you got a chance to watch it. Maybe you did on Saturday morning. Maybe not a lot on Friday morning. Saturday morning was even better because it was a dominant performance, and I know it was Sacramento, and I know it was the preseason. But these guys look fun as hell to watch. They have a lot of working parts. And there was not one that I can remember, all right? Not one, and this is really important, so follow me here. Not one completely asinine, ridiculous Euro step to the bucket and a missed layup. Not one. Not one. I don't remember seeing one of them. Just the awful heroes. The awful way. Oh. Tyreek Evans. Not one. But no, seriously. I mean, across the board, they just look like they got. I mean, you think about the new dudes that came in, and TJ Warren had the big second half performance on Friday morning and kind of saved them with that 3 and tied it up. But Jeremy Lamb looked good. I mean, all these guys, to me, look like dudes that were really necessary at the end of last year. And this is why I bring this up. We talked to Chad Buchanan a couple of weeks ago, the Pacer general manager, and he said that they looked really hard at that 4-game sweep by the Celtics and thought, what do we need? We need more scoring. They need more three-point shooting. Now, can their three-point defense be better? Yes. Will they still need to shoot more and hit more threes? Absolutely, because that's just the ever-evolving NBA in that direction. But, man, they were exciting as hell for a preseason game. You know, a lot of it, I wanted to see, obviously, Miles and Domas play extended time together. And you can't, I'm not trying to make any translations here, but I hope the regular season turns out like what we saw in those first 2 games, and that's going to be enjoyable. Or at least I would think it would be. Anybody else on board with me at all or no? What the hell were you guys doing on Saturday morning then? Get up, play a little hoop, watch a little Pacer hoopage in Mumbai. You guys weren't with me on that. Come on. But no, it was impressive. And across the board of the NBA, and this whole China storyline notwithstanding, because somebody's always going to find a reason. You know, I'm mad. This person's not saying this, and now this person's saying that, and now you got to double back. I mean, I guess what you have to really be careful is you have to be careful. That's why everybody's so measured. Everybody wants everybody to be completely honest. And when the moment they're completely honest, everybody just rips them to shreds. Therefore, everybody further down the road, if you don't want that, you become very measured. You become measured. But all that, I'm going to leave that argument to all the politicians and the pseudo-politicians and those that think they're difference makers and politicians that wouldn't know their ass from anything. I'm going to leave that to everybody else, and I'm going to talk about the basketball because I think that's what you guys want to talk about. But the basketball is going to be so interesting across the board. I mean, out west alone is going to be incredible. But the foundation of the Eastern Conference, for the most part, has gone through an altering change. Whether you're talking about the NBA champions in Toronto with no more Kawhi Leonard, no more Danny Green, Kemba Walker now in Boston, Jimmy Butler in Miami, Philadelphia getting bigger, Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn waiting on Kevin Durant. I mean, it's going to be some good stuff this year. I'm telling you, though, the Pacers in 2 preseason games where it matters not. I get that. But the Pacers in 2 preseason games, I thought gave you every indication that they were going to be incredibly entertaining. Hopefully, that stands up. Hopefully so. So if you guys want to chat that up, we can at 239-1070. Jeremiah Johnson of Fox Sports Indiana is going to join us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about the Pacers, the rotation. I mean, Edmund Sumner. I thought Edmund Sumner looked good in the moments he was in there. Didn't see Goga. So the longer that Goga doesn't play, then everybody's going to talk about how Goga is going to turn into Miles Plumlee. So I hope you get to see Goga sometime soon. And TJ Leaf didn't play either, right? Either one of the games. And, of course, Vic didn't play. So that is always going to be the wild card right there. Now, what is this entire thing going to look like upon Vic's return? Is he going to come back at some point at the end of December? Is it going to be early January? Going to be a little bit later in January? This is going to be a layered season, but I thought they kind of laid it out there in those 2 preseason games as leaving you incredibly interested and me wanting some more. Preseason or not. JJ, I'll talk about that top of the 4 o'clock hour. Joe Wright's former offensive lineman. Actually, we're doing a double dip on the O-line, so it played so well. We'll talk to Joe Wright's coming up at 5:15, and the Beekeeper, former Colts offensive lineman Rick DeMulling, coming up at the bottom of the hour. And we'll talk about a performance. I'm going to ask him if he can remember one of his teams having that type of dominant offensive line performance. And maybe the first thing you notice when you know it is going to be a damn good night for your offensive line, that first tell that you first notice, it's going to be one hell of a night. The Beekeeper. I was almost a beekeeper the other day. Did I tell you last week I had a bunch of bees congregating around my trash can that was right in front of my garage for everybody to see? Unlike you can't do that right now because your HOA is going to cry about it. I keep my trash cans right in front of my door. I'm putting everybody on notice. If you don't like it, you can just piss off because I don't care. This is my property. Complain about it. I do have to do this, though. I got a couple of acres behind me, and there's been a slip and slide back there, and it's got a hole in it, and it has been sitting out there for a little. I need to go get that. So I do agree. But nobody's complaining because it's not their property. But I do need to get the slip and slide with a hole in it. Pronto. All right, quick one. We'll come back. 239-1070. Kyle's been knocking around going into a bye week idea, and I'm not so sure. He kind of wants to bring back, at least for maybe a day, one single segment. You guys have been asking where it's been, and I'm not sure we're going to do it. But we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on, too. Rick DeMulling, Jeremiah Johnson, Joe Wright's coming up. Your chance at Deep Purple tickets. Their farewell tour, Mural Old National Center, is coming up this weekend. We'll give you a chance at those tickets coming up. But your thoughts on the Colts and a lot more, and in particular with the Colts, give me the good and the bad, and can this team maintain? Can it become consistent? Stay consistent. And the good and the bad so far through a 3-2 5-week start. 239-1070. Back with you next.
Hey, it's Brian from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg. I'm here with our spokesperson, Rob Belushi.
Brian, I'm no photographer, but I can picture us together.
It must be truck month because you're trying out your pickup lines?
Yeah, it's truck month, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9, and this truck is the one you need.
Or how about I just tell them about the deals? This month, you can save up to 27% off F-150s and up to 20% on all new Fords.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I drive by again in my new F-150?
Rob, I'm married.
But are you happy?
Rob, stop. Talk about our 170 pre-owned vehicles with 1.9% for 60 months.
That's a lot of pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and 27% off is a great deal on a truck.
If I was a truck, I'd need some coolant because truck month has my engine overheating.
Ew, Brian. Nobody falls for pickup lines. Fall in love with pickup trucks during truck month at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and see why Indianapolis rates us #1 in customer service.
You broke my heart, Rob.
Retirement. That one word can really put a smile on my face. And with Anthem Medicare, I'm going to keep my smile shining as bright as ever. I have to. Think of all that my smile has done for me. It's been with me in the best of times and has gotten me through the hardest of times. I've shared it with close friends and used it to make new friends. I've put effort into my smile with regular teeth cleanings because I can't imagine a life without it. So, for my next phase, Medicare, being able to keep my smile in check is important to me.
Anthem has plans that include benefits that other plans don't, including dental, vision, and hearing. Knowing you could keep your smile shining, that's the benefit of Medicare from Anthem. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. Anthem is a Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Anthem depends on contract renewal.
Hey, John for PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com, who's been thinking about it. Who would like to go all the way here and get that real growing hair again? So if you notice the hair loss, you're going to join most of the dudes over 35 out there. If you want to do something about it, maintain what you have and add to it, talk to Darren Andrews about it. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing.
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go. Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge with a menu to match. Pair any of our made-from-scratch menu items with a frosty 29-degree draft beer served by a beautiful Twin Peaks girl. This October, Twin Peaks all around the nation will be celebrating Pink Fridays all month long. Each Friday, you can support the fight against breast cancer by ordering any of their Sweet Things desserts. $2 from every order purchased will be donated to benefit breast cancer research through the Fairman Adams Project. Get up here. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Your Indiana Pacers opening night presented by Kroger is Wednesday, October 23rd. The excitement tips off with live entertainment, a beer garden, and a family play area outside the field house. Then the games begin when your Pacers meet the Detroit Pistons.
And here's Turner hammering it down.
Opening night is free with a 6-game plan. Tip off the season with the Pistons and see big games versus the Lakers, Celtics, and Spurs. Get your 6-game plan today at pacers.com/free.
Hey, Dan Dockage for Family Leisure. Feeling stressed out, got aching muscles, having trouble sleeping? Maybe Family Leisure can help. It's the Factory Direct Spa Sale going on right now. We've received truckloads of spas from our suppliers at discounted prices. Save 20, 30, even 50% or more, plus several free upgrades and extras with nearly every spa purchased. Four-person spas, only $12.99. Swim spas, only $99.99. Don't miss out. Factory Direct Spa Sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. Pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Mobile sports betting is coming, and BetIndiana News has you covered with all the coverage and insights you'll need to place that perfect bet. BetIndiana News, coming soon.
You want Colts news.
Yeah, I thought Jacoby looked good. Couple nice timing throws to T.Y.
You need Colts news.
Calf injury, wasn't getting better. He hadn't been practicing.
We've got Colts news.
Just encourage him with some luck.
Right here on 93.5 at 107.5 The Fan. But that's only the beginning. If we're not talking about it, listening to it, or explaining it on The Fan, then all you have to do is head to 1075thefan.com. The Ride with JMV.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
And he's got this running game working, as you see, with Matt Breida. And look at the speed on Breida. What a way to start it. 83-yard touchdown.
That's one where Joe Tess can go crazy. Normally Joe Tess, that's like Joe Tess on a 2-yard gain call right there. But that was legit. Breida ran 22 miles an hour on his way to the end zone last night, which is pretty damn fast. Top of the hour, JJ, we're going to talk some Pacers. We'll get to Joe Wrights coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Deep Purple tickets for you coming up a little bit later on as well. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, and he's, as always, tackling hair loss, PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. The former Colts offensive lineman and the current beekeeper that we found out last week, Rick DeMulling, joins us. Big fella, how you doing?
Living the dream yourself.
I had a bunch of bees, and I thought about you congregating around my trash can last week, and I just let them congregate. I'll let them hang out. I wasn't about to do anything about them.
I tell you what, you need to get yourself a hive. It's not that bad. It's not that big a deal.
I got to get a big suit, and I got to get some of that stuff you spray in a can. But I hate getting stung, man.
Smoke comes out of a can.
I'm a weasel. Like, I'm a big weasel when it comes to getting stung. I just don't like it.
Oh, that's what the suit is for. You'll be fine. We'll get you all set up. You'll save the world with me.
Beekeeping. So you got honeycombs in there and everything, huh? Wow.
We got it all. My wife and I actually indulged in some honeycomb not too long ago. It was delicious.
So Rick DeMulling right there, beekeeping specialist extraordinaire. I want to ask you, do you remember the best game you had with your teammates as an offensive line? Can you remember that vividly?
Good question. I do remember opening up the season in, I think it was 2004, and we rushed for like 207 yards on the Patriots. We played really well up front. We didn't win that game, but I mean, we ran the ball really well. But there's not a game that just blows my mind that, like, oh my gosh, we just dominated. I know a few Titans games I remember getting on the bus, and we all were pretty happy with how we played, and so was Howard Mudd.
What was, and that's good too, what was the telltale sign, and I don't know, maybe it was an early long run, but what was the first telltale sign that you saw with your teammates along that line when you knew it was going to be an excellent day?
One, when we kept our quarterback's jersey clean, but when we were able to get the defensive linemen on the ground by either pancaking them or just getting them on the ground and making holes, then we knew that we could get it done that day. So, I mean, I would say just first few runs, if you can hit a big one, a big one being anywhere from like 10 plus, when they don't get touched right away, you know that you can get it done.
I felt, and Rick DeMulling joins us, Tackling Hair Loss, PAI, medical group, WeGrowHairIndy.com, joins us every Tuesday. You can kind of tell that this Colts offensive line on Sunday night knew that they had Kansas City and just continued to put that hammer down.
Oh, they got a swagger and attitude about them that they haven't had for a while, and it is a lot of fun to watch. It's not just the offensive line; it's the defensive front too. They're both those sides of the ball are playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, it's hard to beat an offensive line when they're that good and that confident, and you got Marlon Mack run the ball the way that he is.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And you looked at when in being patient. Talk a little bit about that. As an offensive line, when you're making those blocks and opening up those holes, the importance of having a patient running back that's as shifty as Marlon Mack has been.
Yeah, patient in the regards of like, okay, wait for the hole to open, because if you have a running back that just, I'm going to hit the hole and hit it hard, then they're going to miss a lot of cut that there could be cut back or like even keep hitting it play side. It's exciting to watch how he is running the ball. He is very patient with his offensive linemen, and sometimes it does take a little while for that crease to open up. And when he sees it, he hits it hard. So, I mean, it is fun to watch these guys right now.
It is Rick DeMulling joins us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. How often did you ever move a defensive lineman a couple of gaps over with your blocks?
See, I was never the biggest guy, so one-on-one, driving them a couple of shades down wasn't most common. If I had a down block, that's when if we had angles, and then it'd be a little bit easier. I don't know. I guess I can't put it. It was a couple of times that I felt pretty good. I dominated the guy, but again, I took some pretty good angles on the guy, and he didn't see me coming.
Well, your impression on Quentin Nelson, who, I mean, really, it's commonplace for him to do what I just described. How impressed have you been?
You know what? Watching him come out, I was like, okay, he's a good college lineman. How is that going to translate in the NFL? And he has done so much better than I thought he would. It is a lot of fun to watch him. The thing I like about it, he brings, like I said, that swagger. I think it all started when they got him in, and he just started doing his work, and he brings the other guys along with him. If you notice, he's always down by the ball. He's always running pepping the guys up and gets excited. So I love watching that as an offensive lineman. I tell my guys here at Traders Point when I'm coaching, I'm like, get down the field. You can make so many more blocks, bring a lot of guys. It gets everybody excited when you're down the field. And Nelson has just been a lot of fun to watch, and he's scary good.
You know, what's funny about it, I would agree with you. That rubs off on everybody else. Now, everybody else is not going to be Quentin Nelson, but that type of enthusiasm and effort, it's contagious.
100%. You can turn, I mean, just on the offensive line side or aspect of it, if you get everybody on board with going hard, going to the whistle, getting downfield, it is extremely contagious, and it makes your team that much better.
It's Rick DeMulling with WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com and our friend Darren Andrews over there. All right, bye week wise, what'd you normally do to get away from the game? Especially this bye week is a little bit early by bye week standards, not that much, but a little bit early, only 5 weeks in. What did you do to get away?
Slept. I slept. I would sleep as much as possible, but every once in a while I'd head back home, try to catch an Idaho Vandal game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And do a little fly fishing, things like that? Is that what you do?
You know what? I grew up on the Air Force base. There was not a lot of fly fishing in my life.
See, so I didn't know you grew up on an Air Force base. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, it was the best thing. My mom, when she married my dad, was like, I'm going to travel the world. We stayed on the same Air Force base for 16 years.
Wow. Now where was that?
Washington State.
Gotcha. All right.
If you ever get a chance, go out there. It's beautiful.
My wife wants to go out to eastern Washington or into Idaho incredibly bad. We haven't had a chance to go yet. Is it worth it?
You need to serve your wife and take her to the greatest place on earth. Outside of Indianapolis, I would live there in a heartbeat. That is such a great place. You got mountains, you got water, you got a whole lot of everything.
Let me tell you this. My son has long since wanted to go to Gonzaga, but it's a little pricey out there. But is that the type of place? Gonzaga, Washington State, somewhere around,
So Spokane there.
Spokane is a place?
Yeah, so I grew up just outside of Spokane, went to high school there. In Cheney, Washington, and it's God's country out there. When I was there, the town of Spokane was considered a little dirty, but it has since grown up, that's what gave it its charm. It wasn't a Seattle. All the hipsters and all that stuff weren't over there. It's just a good, hard-working town.
And you had Vision Quest that was filmed there, which is pretty damn awesome.
Yes. Nobody ever knows that. That is one of the greatest.
Who do you think you're talking to here? Holy crap.
I don't know. The Onion, which is a big restaurant out there, the burger place was a big thing in that, and they got Shoop. Shoop was his name.
Yeah.
Running the stairs at Joe Albee Stadium.
Is that where he was doing? He was carrying a telephone pole up the stairs in the bleachers.
Yeah, a big log. I've been around sports a long time. I've never seen one person do that, no matter what sport it is. But yeah, what a great movie. Loudon Swain.
I was always jealous of Loudon Swain because he had a smoking red hot 20-year-old chick just kind of drifting around, and all of a sudden she moves in to their basement. That's a pretty damn sweet deal right there. How's that happen?
Only in the movies.
That's why I was introduced to Spokane through Vision Quest. So
if you get a chance to go out there, take your wife, because you'll never regret it. And go out to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, some of the most beautiful places around the country.
My brother, it's good to see you. I know it's going to be a couple of weeks, but we'll catch up at the next Bullseye Event Center with bullseyeeventgroup.com coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, coming up leading up to the Houston game, so it should be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. Well, you have a great week. I appreciate everything. You have a blessed one.
You too. That's my man Rick DeMoing, Spokane. What do you know, Spokane? You don't know Vision Quest, though. Here's what I knew now, because obviously Gonzaga's had a great deal of success in the past, 20 years now? I think it started, 98 or 99 with the Richie Fromm teams and the Casey Cavalry teams. Dan Munson first had it. Had that NCAA tournament run, got hired by Minnesota, went to the Big Ten, and then Mark Few took over and has not relinquished his gig in Spokane. Now it's obviously known by, for Gonzaga basketball. But before that, I knew it for Vision Quest, and I knew it for John Stockton. That was it. Vision Quest and John Stockton. That's money, though. Loudon Swain. Think about that. Senior high school, just smoking hot drifter. I don't have any place to stay. Why don't you stay in my basement? It's just me and my dad here. It's a party. I'm trying to wrestle this guy that carries telephone poles up the bleachers. Outstanding. All right, quick break and we'll come back. You, me on the other side. Your impressions on the Colts so far. What has been outstanding? What needs some work? And can this group stay consistent moving forward? And is there any reason to buy into the excitement that I talked about with this Pacer team, albeit preseason excitement? JJ, top of the hour. You, me. Other side next.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you can do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
Experience football, fans, and fun at the Children's Museum in the new indoor exhibit, First and Goal. Learn about Indiana's Super Bowl winning team, the Indianapolis Colts. Run the 10-yard dash and compete against the speed of Colts players. Kick a real football and score a virtual field goal. Cut loose in an end zone touchdown dance. Train like the pros in combine drills led by a real Colts player. Celebrate Indiana's football traditions at First and Goal at the Children's Museum. Open now.
Fact, the Leon Taylor & Company has made me the best suits I've ever owned in my life, period. True story. You've heard me talk about Leon's for years now, right? But hundreds of people walk into 809 North Delaware and tell Larry, Norman, Judy, and Kim every day they didn't know about the Leon Taylor & Company and wished they had, because Leon's saved them time and money. What do I have to do to convince you to visit the Leon Taylor & Company at 809 North Delaware today? Ready-to-wear men's and ladies' apparel are on display for you to take home today. But the difference at Leon's? Well, the selection you take home will fit you perfectly. Leon's has an entire alteration staff waiting to fit your selections just right. And ladies, Leon's Ladies Ready-to-Wear clothing collection is on display now, making you look sporty, professional, and always put together. Give them a look and see. Stop by Leon Taylor & Company today to see for yourself. You'll be glad you did, and tell them Dan sent you.
Hey, John here for Connecticut Water, the best water out there. The best. And if you want it, here's, a great way and a great deal, thanks to Joe, John, and Dennis, to get it. Are you ready? Here's what you can do. To get the best water, you need the Premier Series water softener. You buy that, and my friends Joe, John, and Dennis will give you a K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free. This, friends, is a game changer. No longer must you go water bottle after water bottle. You got great drinking water coming out right there in your home. It's a beautiful thing with Connecticut. Again, a Premier Series water softener you pay for, and you get a K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free from Connecticut. 2 locations, northeast side, Castleton, south side, US 31 and Southport Road. Online, ConnecticutND.com today.
With mortgage rates in the 2s, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Golden Oak Lending has lowered mortgage rates to 2.875.
And that's a fixed rate. This is James Hawkins. If you're struggling with credit card debt, we can help you pay it off at a low rate.
At 2.875, now's the time to fix the house, finish the basement. You have so many choices.
We're easy to work with, and we'll give you a free mortgage checkup right over the phone, so you can find out exactly how much you can save. Or apply online at goldenoaklending.com with our fast Zipline mortgage.
Call our Indy office at 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Our experts will walk you through it all, and if we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, FHA 15-year fixed, APR 3.915, 20% equity with approved credit. Regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Church Brothers Collision Repair is proud to have brought our community unparalleled service for more than 80 years. And the road ahead has never looked better under our new name, Caliber Collision. The same local faces and next-level expertise you've grown to expect are now backed by the nation's #1 in collision repair. Our name may be changing, but our commitment to restoring the rhythm of your life is here to stay. Same high standards, all new name. Church Brothers Collision Repair is now Caliber Collision.
Chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing. Steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty.
Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure? Is it difficult to breathe through your nose? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with the Indianapolis Sinus Center. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Hump Day on the Fan Morning Show is must-listen-to radio. We've got more NFL news. A busy weekend in college football will get you set for, plus playoff baseball. Jeff and Big Joe tomorrow morning at 7.
The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go!
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
In the air to left center field, hit pretty well. Bellinger goes back, leaping, it's gone! Brian Zimmerman, a three-run shot!
Ernie Johnson with the call. How about the Nats taking that best-of-5 NLDS the distance tomorrow night in L.A.? One game later on tonight, right? That's the Rays trying to stay alive at home. Houston up 2-1, that ALDS best-of-5. Yankees close out the Twins last night in 3 straight. While we were on the air yesterday, the Cardinals survive. They go to a decisive Game 5 in the NLDS versus the Cardinals. So there is a lot going on. I think some are surprised. I mean, the Nats get in. Remember how they got in last week against the Brewers? They get in and made it happen. Who they got? Walker Buehler going for L.A. tomorrow night, and Strasburg's going for the Nats, I believe. JMV, I watched both Pacer games. Early reaction equals Pritchard GM of the year, and the Pacers top 3 in the East. JMV, the Pacers look a lot more athletic and fluid. Athletic and fluid is exactly what I was thinking about. Fluidity. Exactly. Very fluid. Hey, JMV, great segment yesterday with Rick Venturi. The coach uses some interesting phrases. There, no doubt he does. He was really good. 1075thefan.com if you missed a moment of it from yesterday. He was really good at breaking down that Sunday night win by the Colts over the Chiefs, getting you set for Houston, even though it's a couple of weeks away. That defense. From Heath, hey, JMV, are you on board with several experts that Devontae Green is going to have a really good year? Devontae Green is offensively talented enough to have a really good year, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it is normally all or nothing here, right? We'll see if he can give it a little all for an extended period of time. I will say this, Heath. I would not count on it. However, he's at that level a skilled enough offensive player to be more consistently better than he has been. I will tell you this. If he has everything on straight and is feeling good and is feeling comfortable and everybody's talking about the great chemistry of this group or whatever, then he should. There's no reason why he should not have a really good year. But from what we have seen in the past, there seems to be a lot here for him to overcome. We'll see if he does it. I mean, the guy is offensively skilled. At least I think so. JMV, even Samson looked good for the Pacers. Sumner, McConnell. Listen, I was pretty excited about watching it. They were fun to watch. It was enjoyable. It wasn't one of those, oh, man, this is a preseason game. Nothing, who cares? I'm going to turn it off. I mean, it kept my interest, and it looked fun. I'm hoping and I'm believing that there's a reason that you should be excited about it. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV, I think a positive for the Colts so far has been they didn't implode when 12 walked away. A negative would be the rash of injuries. Matt and Avon. Yeah, I think they all pretty much stepped up. I think Jacoby's been fine. I mean, I think he has been fine. I mean, there are still a lot of things for him to prove, but that's just coming by virtue of playing quarterback in the NFL. But especially in the games where he has been comfortable, with comfort comes poise. With poise and comfort, this Colts team succeeds. And that's part of the formula. And that's going to be part of the formula. It's not going to go away. And as I talked about yesterday, this is exactly what they were trying to do even with Andrew Luck as the quarterback. They wanted the same thing. But, yeah, I am not. I know some people have been disappointed. Hey, listen, when he threw a pick six against the Raiders, and that was kind of his, quarterbacking, take this team and take him down the field. That game wasn't on him. That was a problem, and you don't want to see that. But you know what? Dudes are going to make mistakes. I'm just telling you, when this offense, when they play well enough to put him in these comfortable situations, the outcome has been positive. And if that's not talking down, that's not a backhanded compliment, that's legit. I think he has been fine to this point of the season. And really, the expect bar is going to go up on him. So be ready for that. Quick one, other side, JJ is going to talk about this Pacer team. Is there reason for not just optimism this season, but excitement from what we have seen through, 2 preseason games? JJ from Fox Sports Indiana. Plus, he and Denari are going to host a couple of shows for me later on this week. I'll explain when, I'll explain where, and we'll talk to JJ. Other side next.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Come share a Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party next Monday from 5 until 7 at the Meijer in Zionsville, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet a current Colts player and have a chance to win tickets. Live from the Winner's Circle downtown this Thursday, 3 until 6, it's JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots while making your sports bets of the week.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
Sports fans, Bet Indiana News has got you covered. Football, basketball, baseball, and more. Bet Indiana News is the sharpest source for the latest sports betting news from across the country and around the state. And always with an eye on the action, the favorites, the underdogs, the sharp money, and more. It's where you'll find all the sports betting info you want, all at one site. Visit BetIndianaNews.com today.
Chad and Tyler Peterman.
If you're a homeowner with a stopped-up drain, Peterman will get it moving again for just $83.
A Peterman certified technician will unclog it, and you don't pay $83 until that drain is clear.
We'll make sure that drain stays clog-free too,
because we back our work with our 1-year clog-free guarantee.
One clog any homeowner's drain, and all you pay is $83.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
Let's get that real growing hair again with PAI. WeGrowHairAndy.com, 888-724-5129. The procedure known as PRP, platelet-rich plasma. They take your blood, they shake it up, and they inject it into your dome, and seriously, you get your real growing hair again. They resod the playing surface at PAI. If you're losing your hair and you want it back, I'm here to tell you, you have options. 888-724-5129. Get that private consultation with Darren Andrews and off and running with your real growing hair again. I mean, maybe one of these days here soon, you're going to have to carry a comb in your back pocket again, like it's 1984. That's what they're going to do for you at PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Typically, I have a plan for everything. Always have. So when retirement approached, I thought I had it all planned out. What to do, where to go, what to see, you name it. But as it turns out, I wasn't planning for the most important thing of all, my health. Luckily, Anthem Medicare had all the answers. They didn't just help me find a plan, they helped me find the right plan for me. Which means now, I can get back to planning the big things, small things, and everything in between.
Anthem Medicare has an easy-to-use online shopping tool where you're only 8 simple questions away from finding the perfect Medicare plan for you. Easily finding a plan. That's the benefit of Medicare from Anthem. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. Anthem is a Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Anthem depends on contract renewal.
Running a business, you've relied on the big machine to keep your internet and voice services worry-free. But one day, your voice and internet stop working, costing you customers by the minute. So you place a call to the big machine, and you hear, "Hold the line." After several transfers and hearing,
"Oh, I am sorry, but you have the wrong department. Hold, please."
you realize you're with the wrong company. You call Teltec.
This is Teltec owner Troy Brasseau. At Teltec, we take great pride in providing professional, hands-on support. Established businesses like Whole Wall Heating and Air and Carson Agency continue to experience the benefits of Teltec's customer care.
If you're a business of 10 to 200 employees or more, Teltec invites you to put an end to your reliance on the big machine and contact Teltec for a free review today. 317-390-8585 and click on simple123.biz. That's simple123.biz. Teltec.
Do you need that diamond engagement ring? See Pierce Jewelers in Carmel before you spend your hard-earned money somewhere else. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Pacers host the Chicago Bulls in preseason NBA action. Friday evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, crank it up. This is for JJ, our next guest here. When I was doing the JMV takeover on B105.7, it'll be a couple of Saturdays ago this weekend. Got a request in. All requests, all 80s Saturday night from Jeremiah Johnson of Fox Sports Indiana. It wasn't this song. It was from his album, 1984. This is Panama. He wanted Jump. I gave him Jump. I like Panama better, though. Because I always dug the part when David Lee Roth belts out, reach down between my legs, and we all go, oh, giggle, giggle. And then he eased the seat back. JJ's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That was well done a couple of weeks ago with your request of Jump. You're a part of the show.
I appreciate that. I was glad to be on, and I saw Van Halen in concert, not old school 80s, but in the 90s with Skid Row once at the artist formerly known as Deer Creek.
So you saw Van Hagar then. You saw Sammy Hagar.
It was Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
Good times.
I'm not. I don't like Matt Taylor and I fight about this all the time. I'm not a good Van Hagar guy. I like Sammy Hagar by himself. I just don't like him a part of Van Hagar. I like David Lee Roth. Unfortunately, David Lee Roth is kind of nuts, and then you got the Van Halens who kind of rule by a dictatorship in that entire group there. So it was destined to have bits and pieces fall out and return and fall out again. You know what I mean?
That's true. I never was into all of the politics of Van Halen, but, enjoy the music. And, when you have a change in lead singer, it does change things up quite a bit. So I understand why some were partial to certain eras of Van Halen.
So how was Sebastian Bach and Skid Row? Was that worthy of your time back in the day?
At least for a couple of songs, 18 in Life, and I don't remember too many others. But that wasn't a bad opening act. If I do recall, it's been about over 20 years ago, so I don't remember. All
come on, man. That's got to be like right there, front burner stuff for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, man. So, 18 in Life, that was their, what was it? What'd you say? It was early 90s or late 80s?
It would have been late 90s, actually, mid to late 90s.
Oh, you saw them. Oh, they were still hanging on back in the day. I got you.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I didn't see Van Halen live for the first time until 6-7 years ago at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and Kool and the Gang opened up for him.
Wow.
And David Lee Roth didn't have much movement left. He was just occasionally giving you a karate kick, and that was about it. That's all he had left in the tank. So.
Well, you got to still, keep going on tour when you can, because that's how they make their money.
Make that money, my brother. Make that money. I want to start here with the Pacers. 2 games in Mumbai, and I said this a little bit earlier. That Friday morning and that Saturday morning game, I have not been as excited about watching 2 preseason games for the Pacers ever. I mean, there was a lot of excitement there, albeit a preseason game or 2.
That was the thing I think I noticed from watching those games, is it didn't really feel like a preseason game. And then I think even in that first game, Nick Millen talked today after practice, his plan was not to have Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis maybe play as much as they did, but they were close. They had a chance to make a run, and then he said, you know what, let's just go ahead and try to win this game. And I was watching. I didn't really know what would happen in the fourth quarter, because you knew he wanted them to play and to get significant time with their starting group in that second unit, but they definitely played to win. I thought the effort, even on the second half of back-to-back, I thought that was, granted, I was just watching on television, but sometimes on the second half of back-to-back in December, guys get tired. You had 2 teams that were playing, the same opponent. They had to travel and everything, and I just was impressed by how hard everybody played. So if you can't watch those 2 games and be excited, I don't think you're a Pacer fan. Now the hope is that from the coaching staff's perspective, they can kind of continue to put things in. They still have a couple of weeks of work yet to do, and it's really training camp mode once again this week at the St. Vincent Center.
Does that hold them back at all? Does that trip and those 2 games hold them back as far as preparation for the start of the season?
If they didn't go on that trip, they probably would have implemented more of their plays and defensive strategies than they have right now. But the good news is they don't have any additional road preseason games. So if you think about it, it still, to me, feels like you've got over 2 weeks until that regular season starts, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So they won't be traveling again until, the first weekend of the regular season. And they'll have a lot of time to still work on things. So I think it was good. It was early in the preseason. They've got some teams that are still overseas right now and that'll get back a little bit later. So if there was one good part about it, is that it happened early. Now they've had, some time to get back to a sleep schedule back in Indiana, and they won't be traveling again until after that first regular season game. So they might be a little behind right now, but by the time they get to October 23rd, I do not think they'll be behind.
Yeah, JJ's got you on Fox Sports Indiana. He's on the Andy Mora Automotive Group hotline. It just kind of seemed that at least early, and this is not always the case, and again, it is the preseason, as I have to remind everybody, or everybody goes, hey, it's just a preseason. But these pieces fit really well with a team that did not have a lot of opportunity to work on cohesion.
Yeah, I think it was beneficial. The guys that were in town in September and had some 5-on-5 runs, so those guys really got to know each other. They didn't have Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis during that time because they were playing overseas. But I think that time was beneficial. But you did see some of the benefits of why Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan and company went after certain guys, because there are some interchangeable parts and there is some versatility. And, just by an early look, watching Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis play together, when those guys are on the court, it looks like an imposing lineup. For one, they're so much bigger than they have been in recent years, and they will have some breakdowns defensively. But just offensively, there are so many options, not just with those 2, but if you just look at man for man at the starting lineup now compared to what you had at the end of last season, so many more offensive options. Your 5th option is probably Malcolm Brogdon or Miles Turner, and those 2 guys can certainly have some offensive strength. So I think that they've got a lot of options, and it did look like the guys fit together nicely on the court. And even the second unit, while they didn't have the bigs, TJ Leaf and Goga Batadze, I like what you saw from some of the newcomers in that second unit as well.
Hey, JJ, when do they return to practice?
They practiced already once today. So,
okay.
I was watching practice today. He has given the players the option of coming in. Nate likes 2-a-days in training camp, and so they don't have scheduled 2-a-days this week, but if guys want to come in for an additional workout in the evening, they're allowed to do that this week, and it's kind of training camp mode. They were given Sunday off, obviously, because they arrived back into town at some point late morning on Sunday, and then they had yesterday off as well. So it really felt like no grogginess, no sleep deprivation. Everybody looked like they'd gotten acclimated back to the Eastern time zone and being back in Indiana, and it looked like a sharp first day back.
When do we expect to see Goga?
So right now they're saying nothing for Goga on Friday, but Nate McMillan does hope that he could possibly play in that final preseason game. I think it was just a sprained ankle, no further damage, but maybe, a mid to high ankle sprain and such that it's not day to day. So nothing this week for Batadze. He was shooting after practice. You'd really like to see him get at least one preseason game before you can really go and expect him to be a second unit center like I think they envisioned when training camp started. So the benefit is I thought that, Jakar Sampson did a really good job. And if Batadze's not ready on opening night, he looks like he would be that backup center.
Yeah, and I'd completely forgotten about Jakar Sampson at the end of last year. And it was, I think, in Chicago, right, with a team that wasn't playing for anything. But he put up some strong, productive performances down the stretch a year ago.
He's kind of just fallen through the cracks a little bit in his NBA career, bounced around to some different teams. He's been in Sacramento and maybe even the Knicks, but you might be right on Chicago. And I talked to a coach that was at practice before the team left. Sometimes they have college coaches in that watch him, and he knew about, Jakar and what he was able to do at St. John's, and he thought he was surprised that he hadn't really been able to stick with a team or a situation yet in the NBA. Jakar told me he had a really good deal to go to China at the last minute. The Pacers called, and they wanted to bring him in, and he had to weigh his options. But it seems like they really needed that extra center, especially with the unknown of a rookie in Batadze, and I think that it's great that they have him right now. And I even like him. When you think about the third center last year, and I thought Kyle O'Quinn fit that role nicely, but Sampson seems to have a little more versatility, I think.
Have you had the opportunity to look at the landscape and the expectation with that landscape of the Eastern Conference very much, or have you been completely concentrating on the Pacers and their roster?
Yeah, I've looked a little bit. I mean, to me, it does seem like that it's Philadelphia and Milwaukee as kind of the top two teams, and then everyone else is kind of fighting for that third and fourth spot. I think people are probably down a little bit on Boston than what I expect. I think that, maybe they underachieved last year, but if people think they're going to be a 5 seed or a 4 seed, I think that they could be up there once again. And I think the Pacers have every reason to believe, if healthy and if Victor Oladipo can come back and be the Victor Oladipo that he was, or at least close to it, that they can be fighting there as well. But even the Bucks and the 76ers, you may say right now to start the season they have the most experience with their group and the most talent. They also have some new pieces and some new faces. And even at Milwaukee, I think they really will miss Malcolm Brogdon. And how do they make up for that? And do their new acquisitions help out? It remains to be seen. But I think it's definitely Milwaukee and Philadelphia, at least starting the season, as probably co-favorites in the Eastern Conference. But I see no reason why any handful of maybe 5 or 6 teams couldn't really think they have a legitimate chance at third or fourth.
He is from Fox Sports Indiana. Pacers Live, Jeremiah Johnson's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. In the NBA, the seasons are layered anyway. We know that. They're, the beginning and, you go through because it is such a marathon. But for this Pacer team, there are so many layers to this year. There really are. And, top of the list is that of Vic, but you look at everything else and how you're supposed to evaluate this team. That is going to be the question, and I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for both Kevin Pritchard, Chad Buchanan, and Nate McMillan to do, because there are so many different layers and different starting points to this year.
Yeah, and normally I would say, given the injury situation, the newness, I would say fans should not overreact to the first month of the season, that it might be difficult early and you might just try to get to Thanksgiving with a 500 record. But then when you saw the schedule and how it kind of lays out, and even though they're shorthanded, I think Nate McMillan knows it's really important to get off to a good start, because you look around and you see those first 11 games. Let's say Brooklyn's in the playoffs, but you could maybe make a case that 10 of the first 11 opponents are non-playoff teams, and those are games you don't get back. You don't get to play some of those teams later in the season when you're at 100%. So even though I would normally say, ease into the season and maybe, make your best team out there in January, you can't let some of these opportunities get away. And that's why I think it was important to take advantage of these 4 preseason games. Nate joked last week, and he didn't really joke. We took it as a joke, I think, a little bit, but he was serious. He would rather had 8 preseason games, and he's not going to rest starters in that 4th preseason game. This isn't the NFL. He's really going to use his time this Friday night and then again next Tuesday to get guys, 25, 26, 30 minutes, and to see that starting unit play together and to work on that second unit as well. And so I think this team really needs to, by Thanksgiving, beat 3 or 4 games above 500 just because of the schedule and who they play early on. But it is a little bit of a season in 3 parts: before Victor, when Victor comes back and then when Victor's 100%. But you can't worry about that. The guys that are playing in October and November, they can't worry about what happens in February because you got to get some wins.
I completely agree with you. I mean, listen, we normally say, and I know that the NBA folks kind of bristle at this, but we do normally say, hey, the early season doesn't matter to the NBA. I mean, hell, they started mid-October and you don't end until June, whatever. But I think for the Pacers, you're right. I mean, I think the early portion of the season, the portion especially without Vic, is going to be really important to put together some wins that we'll look back on at the end of the season and say, well, that was a missed opportunity, or, hey, look, the games they won, look how they started and how important it's become.
Yeah, it's just one of 82, but a game November 10th counts the same as one on March 10th or April 5th. And then we haven't even brought up the Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis, experiment, if you will, because, last year when Victor Oladipo went out, ratings went down a little bit. Interest went away just a little bit. I don't see that happening this year because there will be so much interest not only on the new players early in the season, but can the Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis starting combination work? And so before Victor comes back, they not only need to get some wins, but they need to feel really good about the fact that they can play those guys together. And granted, it was just 2 preseason games, and I think you saw they can both start, they can play together, but you can also throw Domantas back out there with that second unit and let him continue to terrorize second unit centers that worked so well for him last year. So I can't wait to see what happens. But I want to watch it for about a month and a half. The 2 first preseason games, they were enough to whet the appetite. I almost can't wait now till October 23rd, but I really can't wait till Friday because I think these 2 home preseason games, if you're going to come out to the field house and watch, there's going to be a lot to watch. And that opening night, I mean, there are a number of storylines even without your all-star guard.
You think that Domas is going to be able to consistently knock down threes, and then on the other end – consistently guard a smaller, more versatile player on the wing when called on to do so? You think that's going to happen?
Well, there's 2 questions, and I think the first one is not as big of a deal as the second one. I think as long as if he makes one a game or, every couple of games hits them and doesn't have a poor percentage or a low percentage, then he's a threat. I think it's fine. But I don't think he's really going to spend that much time outside the three-point arc. It just seems like he's going to, start the offense from kind of that free throw line, maybe the top of the arc and set a pick or, initiate the offense with a screen or a nice pass. But he won't be outside the arc all that much. And I think that when he is wide open, he will shoot it, and I think he can knock down enough. I just don't think it's going to be one of those things where he's shooting 4 or 5 three-pointers a game. The other end is the big question, and I think some of it will depend on, which team you're playing. I mean, if there are, 29 other NBA teams, I could see, 5 or 6 teams, the 4th spot, the defensive matchup for Domas being a challenge. And I could see probably, 10 to 12 teams where maybe he has a really good matchup. And then it's that middle group where can he hang in? Can he at least do more damage offensively than the problems or the weaknesses defensively? And so I think that's the biggest question. I think it's what he worked on in the off season. He, challenged the front office. We've got to make this work. I need to play more. And that's how he's going to have to stay on the court. That's how he's going to have to be in the court late in games because they're going to start together. They may not always play together throughout the middle of the game, but Miles and Domas, and while they're team first guys, they're 2 of probably your 4 best players. You have to have them both on the court if a game's close late. And that's kind of the biggest unknown is whether the staff can be confident. Okay, what if there's a really athletic 4? Can we throw Domas out there and guard him and not see it as a weakness?
All right. Is Sabonis going to go with the headband full-time, or was that just because of the stitches he had to take in the ear in Mumbai?
I think just the stitches, because I saw him today and he did not have a headband. So I think he needed the headband. I thought it looked good. He played well. You thought maybe he'd continue as headband Domas like we saw Miles. When something worked, he kind of continued with it, but did not see the headband at practice today. So I'm guessing which it'll happen, he'll get another wound or stitches to the head, I'm sure, at some point this season. It doesn't look like the headband will continue.
Yeah, I can get that. So I can't. Listen, I saw those 2 games. It got me really excited about the season to come. It may not end up meaning a lot because it's the preseason, but they were fun as hell to watch for preseason games.
it almost made me also think, you need to schedule, a couple of breakfast games every season, even though they're probably not as good for attendance. It's nice. And just being a fan, like I was back home and not actually on the broadcast and not in India, it was nice to wake up, have some breakfast, and turn on the Pacer game. So maybe if you got 82, maybe 81, maybe one or two of them, maybe we could have breakfast basketball this season. Not this season, but maybe down the road.
Nothing wrong with it right there. JJ's got you. Fox Sports Indiana. You guys, you're not doing the games on Friday because you're going to be in here, then you're going to go to the game, right? Because I need to remind people of that, right?
Yep. Normally, Fox Sports Indiana does 2 preseason games, and so the 2 that we're on were the ones from India. So no local television coverage from Friday or next Tuesday. But I'll be still working, filling in for you on Thursday and Friday, and then we'll have a season preview special on Fox Sports Indiana the week prior to the first game, and we'll be back October 23rd with a special 1-hour Pacers Live pregame. So we've still got some time. Like you, I'm excited, but we got a couple of weeks before we really get going.
And this reminder, both JJ and Chris Denary will be in for me on Thursday and Friday, and I thank you guys for that. Winter Circle here downtown on Thursday with our Larceny Locks and Luna Azul shots with Brent Holverson, and the guest picker in for me is none other than Reds catcher Tucker Barnhart. So that's Thursday with you guys, and then you guys are kind enough to do it. You guys are kind enough to do it again on Friday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot to talk about. I've often said that October, everyone says March and May, maybe the good sports months, and I enjoy, what each of those has to offer. But I think October is my favorite when you combine, the great weather and just the variety. So we filled in for you in the summer, and we had to kind of scratch our heads a little bit to come up with topics for 3 hours. But this should be pretty easy on Thursday and Friday, don't you think?
No, you guys will be great. You guys will have Tuck down there with you, too. My friend Brent Holvers. It'll be a blast, I promise you, both days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we appreciate you having us, and I look forward to talking to the fans again on Thursday.
I got you. JJ, thanks as always, man. Appreciate you.
All right, John, we'll see you.
It's Jeremiah Johnson, Fox Sports Indiana, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. They will both, he and Chris Denary, will be on Thursday and Friday. Now, Thursday, they're going to be at the Winter Circle downtown, Larceny Locks, Luna Azul shots, and I would invite you guys to go down and join them. Tucker Barnhart, Reds catcher, is going to be the guest selector, the guest picker for us on Thursday with Brent Holverson, which is pretty awesome, too. So, Thursday, Winter Circle. Friday, they're going to be in studio for me doing their thing. And I thank him very much. Actually, I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday. My mom is having a surgery, so I'm going to be down around GC, making sure everything's going okay with that. Now, next week, it's kind of interesting. Next week, Tuesday, I'm definitely going to be out, but Monday, I am going to be on. And I am, as of right now, actively searching for a spot somewhere down there to do a show. Now, I know my man Tony probably be all for me doing a show from the Four Winds Lakeside Inham Arena down there at the Windjammer, and I certainly can do that. But if you get a spot for me in and around Monroe, Greene, or Lawrence County, let me know. If I can plug in, all I need is a little bit of a plug-in, man, and I'm golden. Just need a place to plug in. I'll put on some headphones and go to work. So I was thinking maybe I might try to do it in Bedford at some place, and I'm not sure. Maybe at Bedford and sit there and drink a Big Red. But if you guys got a spot, somebody down there's got a spot, let me know. Just need a little plug-in. I need to make sure the equipment works, and we're golden. Yeah, Signal would work. Signal would be really nice. So if anybody has a spot, I don't know, what, Rings and Things, whatever that place is, and Rings and Things, they know there's a barbecue place that's got a train in the front in Bedford, whatever. Somewhere in Bloomfield will be all right. Maybe on the steps of the courthouse, we can do that. Aggie's Funhouse, I can do that. Anybody in Monroe County? Just let me know. Got a spot for me, maybe a booth. I can sit in the back, just have a chair, sit by myself. I'll be good. All right, quick break and we'll come back. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Me and you coming up on the other side. So we're not off early today, right? So we're going full way. So we may end up dropping in a little Anything Goes coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. We haven't done it in months. And Kyle came at me today and said, hey, you want to do an Anything Goes? I mean, it is a bye week, right? It's kind of a getaway week for a lot of folks. I mean, for a lot of you, I mean, hell, a lot of you are already on fall break. Some of you get 2 weeks. Most of us only get 1. So maybe so. Maybe a little anything goes in the 5 o'clock hour. Hey, me and you on the other side. Colts, to this point, positives and the negatives, the things they do need to work on, and can this team remain consistent rest of the way? Darius Leonard has been cleared, and he will be back in action after the bye week when the Colts are at home against the Houston Texans. That and more, your phone calls at 239-1070. Next.
You forget something?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be able to pick up Braden tonight after practice.
Oh, did something come up at work?
Nah, not even going to make it in today.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I'm coming up on some construction in about a quarter mile. I've already started ignoring the signs. In a minute, I'll force my way through traffic while texting. I'll pull the wheel a little too far and drive right through the barrels where I'm going to hit a few workers. One of them is going to get killed, so then I'm going to be arrested and charged with vehicular manslaughter.
No one plans on having an accident. But you can plan to avoid one. Read the signs. Slow down. Stay alert.
This is Joe Bulk, business manager of Labor's Local 204. Every year, not only do accidents in the construction zone kill and injure workers, they can also cost you, the driver, thousands of dollars and time in jail.
A message from Indiana Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
It's been almost 40 years since the Hoosiers were as large a favorite in a conference game as they are this Saturday against Rutgers. With this Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowen. Indiana is minus 27.5 versus the Scarlet Knights in early wagering, marking the largest number the Hoosiers have laid to a Big Ten opponent since 1980. While Rutgers has not won a Big Ten game since 2017 and have a 17-game losing streak against Power 5 opponents, it's covered the number in 4 of their 5 meetings with Indiana. Last season in Piscataway, the Hoosiers won 24-17, but failed to cover as 14.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, for the second season in a row, Notre Dame is a double-digit favorite against USC, laying 11 points to the Trojans Saturday in South Bend. But USC's Clay Helton is the worst coach in the country when it comes to covering spreads as an underdog, going 3-12 against the spread when catching points. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
Hey, let's get this started. Indiana's best, Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. It's 5 miles west of 465 on US 36, and deals are always going on. Hey, check in with Ben Mendoza. Ben is a fantastic dude, and he can get you on the path to a great deal on a vehicle that you absolutely love. Now, hey, first things first, you got your smartphone on you right now? I don't know, maybe an iPad, maybe it's your computer screen. Here's what you got. Check it out, AndyMooreToyota.com, what they have to offer, and then go to work on it. Go to work with Ben Mendoza about getting into that Camry or that Corolla that you might want. Or, hey, how about the Tundra? My Tundra is the absolute best, but you can't have it. You got to get your own, and they have them in stock. I mean, many for everybody. And SUV-wise, we're talking the RAV4, the Highlander, the 4Runner, the absolute best. Tell Ben that I sent you to Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing?
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget, or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
This is a message for all men. After trying the little blue pill, my family doctor said my ED was incurable unless I had surgery. My wife was supportive. She told me it wasn't that important to her, but I knew it was deep down inside. I felt less of a man, less of a husband without that intimacy. I was embarrassed. But all of that changed the day I called the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and made an appointment. My wife went with me, and let me say, my doctor was wrong. We have regained our intimacy. It's truly amazing what they've done for us. Indianapolis Men's Clinic resolved my ED and my low testosterone all in one place. Thanks, guys. No matter your age, your condition, or if you suffer from Peyronie's disease, we can help. $99 for a physician evaluation, test dose, and testosterone checkup. Call now 317-999-9000. That's 999-9000. Or at IndyMen'sClinic.com.
Get up and go now so you can go tonight.
Hey, let's talk about what you need. Talk about the holiday season for a moment. That great gift-giving idea. I mean, something that is spectacular for her. How about a trip to Diamonds Direct, too? People might not understand this fully. I've been telling you for years, but if you still don't know, it is the best, most comprehensive diamond experience / education you're going to get. They're going to tell you absolutely everything you need to know, and this is a great gift-giving idea for the upcoming holiday season. It's where you can take full advantage of the best prices. Again, the best diamond education anywhere, and superior guarantees and warranties. Tell you what, you'll love it overall. I wish I'd have known about this 20 years ago. I've been with them for 9, so that's long enough. So at least I can hand off my experience to you. Holiday season-wise, this is what you do. You go to Diamonds Direct, get her something from there, and then thank me later. That's Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save at Big O Tires with up to $150 off a set of 4 Big O brand tires now through October 13th. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
For your Sports Plus Network perception, tune in Monday, Thursday, and Saturday afternoons as Joey Molinaro and Steve Berry from Sports Plus Network talk about that night's game.
Homes are selling fast, and if you haven't found your dream home, listings are coming onto market daily. Get a leg up on your competition and get pre-approved in 5 minutes at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Think you know Colts football, but do you really know what's happening? It's not just football season. It's Venturi season.
Brought to you by the District Tap, craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and now downtown at Georgia Street and Meridian.
Catch the coach every Monday at 4:30 with JMV, with bonus Coach Venturi. Tuesdays on the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, and later with Dan Dockage on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I want you out in front of the school with her. I'd like to have a few words with you, by God.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Deals. Molina in the air, left field. Duvall's got a great arm, but that is deep. Wong ready to run. He tags. Here he comes. Duvall's throw, no chance. And the Cardinals have won Game 4. When the Cardinals need a moment, they look to Yadier Molina, not once, but twice in this game.
All the tat getting it done for you Cards fans out there. Courtesy of TBS right there. Cardinals force a decisive Game 5 of the NLDS, and that was none other than Yadier Molina. And remember, Tucker Barnhart loves Yadier Molina. I mean, really likes him. I shouldn't say love, but really likes him. And I've always been completely against Yadier Molina, and he's tried to talk me into liking him for a while. Molina was big yesterday. Decisive Game 5. You may see Duvall in the lineup for the Braves, too, from what they're talking right now. Rays try to stay alive against the Astros. Man, the Astros go back to Verlander tonight. Ooh. Boy, Zach Greinke got knocked around yesterday pretty good. Yeah, we'll see if the Rays can foul that up. Nats taking the Dodgers the full 5 coming up tomorrow night. The Twins had absolutely 0 for the Yankees, and normally they don't. So there's a lot going on right now. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV, you want to wait on Kane or make a move for A.J. Green or Emmanuel Sanders? Or whiteouts, sports cars, nor built for playoffs, winner, and not in the run the damn ball the equation. I think that they're going to go with what they have right now. Now, I will say this, and it is probably tougher. And I know they brought a dude in that's a former first-round pick, and I can't recollect his name right now. But the Teray injury is going to leave a mark here, and that's what sucks. Because, face it, for the most part this year, when he has been in there, at least, shall we say, 3 out of the 5 games, 3.5 out of the 5 games, I mean, the guy has made his presence felt. And he had the biggest play of the game on Sunday night. We can argue all day long what that was, but, I mean, dinging up the ankle situation that was already hurt from Patrick Mahomes with one rush that got to him and then pushing the offensive lineman Irving back into the quarterback again. I mean, those were the plays of the game. Because Patrick Mahomes was nowhere near Patrick Mahomes that we know and we saw on display in the first quarter. Nowhere near after that. That's going to leave a mark, and they're trying to find somebody else to bring in. But those guys are arguably, maybe besides a left tackle, the toughest things to find in the NFL is that. And that sucks. That is going to have a lasting effect, unfortunately. Yeah, that's too bad. So I would say, John, I would say I doubt it. As far as wide receivers are concerned, I think they're going to wait on Funchess to come back. Try to get some guys back and go with the youth that they have. I know that they like what they have right now. And then, try to remain one of those teams that, it sounds old school and cliches to talk about that is a team that offensively is inspired and plays off of their run. Now, are they going to be able to do it like they did on Sunday night? Yeah, they're not always going to have the luxury of being able to run it against Kansas City's run defense. But I'm telling you, when the Colts come out and that works, when that offensive line works the way that it did, then they're going to be tough to beat. Just you look on the other side of it, and that's a bummer about Teray. I think that one is going to have more of a lasting effect than a lot of people give it credit for right now. JMV, this is the first time in a long time that the team really feels like a true team, a spirited team. If they keep the team spirited attitude, I don't see any reason they can't stay consistent with how they're playing right now. Love the show, long-time listener. That's from Tony Waters. Yeah, we'll see if they can play off of that game. I mean, that was a game that literally 10% of the paying attention public expected out of the Colts. And probably out of that 10%, that 10% was all pretty much dudes that say that the Colts are going to go 16-0 every year. And we'll see if they can play off of that because there was a hell of a lot of success. I mean, really, when you look back on it, there was not a lot of negative. I mean, there was the Eric Ebron drop, and there was, the inefficiency. They still scored, but the inefficiency in the red zone to score touchdowns. That's it. Yeah, Marcus Smith is the former first rounder that they brought in for a workout. I saw that, and thank you, Bobby. Yeah, I saw that virtue of Ian Rappaport. But, man, those guys, those are tough to come by. Teray was a spark, and I'll give him maybe 3.5 out of the 5. He has been more than noticeable. And he had the biggest plays of Sunday night. And again, that's all with all due respect to George Odom and the punch-out with LaShawn McCoy, which was a turning point in the game. But to me, the biggest plays came from Teray, who took away what Patrick Mahomes was capable of doing. He just was incapable of being what he was in the first quarter, what he was as the MVP a year ago. He just wasn't any longer. Couldn't move. That was a big deal. I mean, you look at down the stretch, Grover Stewart basically on that rush when he got a set, ran right into him. I mean, it was like a straight line to him, and Mahomes couldn't do anything about it. That was a big deal. The biggest deal. And that type of pressure from a team that really needs to find a consistent level of quarterback pressure is vital. JMV, if Sabonis becomes a mini Jokic, the Pacers team will take the next step toward the Eastern Conference title. Passing from the post and the free throw line will open up so many lanes and spot up threes. Unstoppable. It's from John. Here's the one thing, and I didn't talk about this with JJ, the one thing that I gather from those first two preseason games was this. I think the high ball screen pick and rolls are going to be as fun as we have ever seen it. And believe me, we've seen it enjoyable with Victor Oladipo. But with Brogdon doing that, it is going to be equally fun because he provides a significant issue. I think that is going to be, to me, one of the more fun things to watch. And then how the Pacers do that high ball with Brogdon and the screen and roll with Brogdon and Sabonis and Miles. See how that goes. But yeah, Brogdon is just, to me, a perfect fit for this team. Moving forward, even without seeing him out there with Oladipo. That's from Gary Caldwell. JMV, with Snoop Dogg being hired by Kansas, if you hire JMV, you're going to get some JMV. There's no doubt about that. I mean, so you hire Snoop Dogg for, your college basketball midnight madness, and then he goes out there and hey, I had no idea. Like you thought you were hiring Hanson or something. What the hell's wrong with you? And really, what he did wasn't that bad. And I know it's just a world we got to be offended by everything. It drives me nuts. I'm really proud of myself because I try really hard not to be offended by most things. Really hard. And I used to be a dude that I'd just be Mr. Sensitive. And I can't believe, and God, you get older and you just don't care. I feel good about that. Older, wiser, and just go, whatever. And it really, Twitter, social media makes you realize that more and more. I don't know how people get on this bad boy and just spend 24/7 on it, just bitching and moaning about stuff. It'd be driving me nuts. I like to go on there and have fun with folks, but as far as inspiring a debate where everybody starts saying this guy's that and that guy's this, like if you, and I said this yesterday too, I mean, if you attack my integrity, then I'm probably going to call you a dumbass. I mean, if you're deserving of it, I probably am, but normally that doesn't happen because normally you don't do that. And attack the integrity, and then you're going to get called a dumbass. Other than that, it's all good. Jennifer writes this, so it's another Saturday night, JMV takeover this weekend again. It is not this weekend. I think I'm going to do it next weekend. The reason being, I got to be down in GC this weekend. So I think next weekend, so a week from Saturday, go ahead and give a shout out to Sean Copeland down the hall. We'll do another one this Saturday. Because I know that Matt Taylor wants in. We got a lot of people that actually want in on it now. Like Jeffrey Gorman called me and goes, oh, you know what? You got something here. We got to get this thing lit. And I'm ready to do it. The problem I'm going to have is if I ever have somebody come in with me, I am a salty dictator when it comes to the playlist. Like, I'll let you guys tell me what to play, but normally what it comes down to is what I want to play. Like, I think I have the great call. I'm like the Bill Belichick of call-in music radio shows. Yeah, you guys, all great with you guys, but I'm going to make this final call. I'm deciding what the hell's going on here. I'm playing Troy Brown at cornerback, by God, and you guys can't do anything about it. You guys not doing anything about it. Too bad. Nah, but seriously, Jennifer, we're going to fire that up again. This is not going to be this Saturday. I'm going to try to do it again a week from Saturday. And it has been awesome. All right, quick one. We'll come back. You, me, top of the hour, a little bit after 5. Joe Wrights is going to drop in. I want to get his thoughts on the offensive line. He's a former offensive lineman here. How good was that effort? Has he seen a better effort than what he witnessed on Sunday night? And that left side, we don't give the right side enough credit with Glowinski and Smith. Probably talk about the left side too much. The left side has just been spectacular. They were just mowing folks on Sunday night. Talk to Joe about that at 5:15. I have Deep Purple tickets to give away, too. Back with you next.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you can do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. All these gimmicks like 0% transfer, 10% off today's purchase are nothing more than traps to keep you further in debt. What if I told you the solution to all your problems was only 5 minutes away? Your home has gained equity at the fastest pace in over a decade. Put that new equity to work and pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's Big Joe. Right now, for every window you buy, you get the next one free, no limits, and 0% financing for 36 months. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's John here. True story. You know what makes me feel good? Follow along here. What makes me feel good? A brand new pair of socks makes me feel good. I love socks. So why I should feel the same is because today I was rocking it in CarX on 135 in front of Menards on the south side there with my man Micah and the gang. I got some new tires. And I think getting new tires for a great price with people I trust, it ranks right up there with my love for new socks. I mean, really, it's kind of new socks for the Tundra as I got today. It's just a feel-good thing. I love new tires, and you can get new tires at great prices, the best prices anywhere, with a Joe Childers Run CarX location like the one down in Greenwood on 135. Go in there and tell Micah I sent you, or any of the CarX locations in central Indiana, and ask them about their deals on tires or their deals on brakes. They've always been the best for brakes, and they still are. Anything mechanically done you need, they can get it done. The 4Runner's got to go in for a little bit of an oil change and a lube. They do that too, and they're the best. I'm telling you, the Joe Childers are on CarX locations, the absolute best. Tell them that I sent you, your trusted auto repair specialist in Indianapolis for over 40 years. Make it CarX today.
Your Indiana Pacers opening night presented by Kroger is Wednesday, October 23rd. The excitement tips off with live entertainment, a beer garden, and a family play area outside the Fieldhouse. Then the games begin when your Pacers meet the Detroit Pistons.
And here's Turner hammering it down.
Opening night is free with a 6-game plan. Tip off the season with the Pistons and see big games versus the Lakers, Celtics, and Spurs. Get your 6-game plan today at Pacers.com/free.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
All right, we got the Larceny Bourbon Locks, the Luna Azul shots coming up on Thursday. I got to give a shout out to my guys, Chris Denary and Jeremiah Johnson, for hosting the show. I'm going to be gone, but you're going to get the picks courtesy of playing me, Tucker Barnhart, Reds catcher, and the one and only Brent Halverson, all from the Winner's Circle downtown. That's our Larceny Locks and Luna Azul tequila shots coming up this Thursday. Denary, JJ, Tucker Barnhart, and Brent Halverson from the Winner's Circle downtown. Join them here on 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com, offering competitive odds on game lines, futures, and prop bets. With 50-plus in-game bets on pro football games. Make bets while the game is being played, like who will score next, how will the current drive finish. You will earn rewards for every bet you place with our innovative loyalty program. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250 using one of our 12 deposit methods. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Playable only in Indiana.
Couples who get a Shane Company engagement ring love how well our rings are made. The extra steps we take to ensure that you'll get a superior ring at the best price. We put more gold into the structure of the ring so it will stand the test of time. Our prongs are stronger to securely hold the center stone without compromising elegance or beauty. Our team of gemologists inspects every center stone. Every diamond, ruby, or sapphire must pass Shane Company's high-quality standards and visual beauty test before it qualifies to be set into an engagement ring. From the stonecutter's wheel to our designer's drawing table to the jeweler's bench, only Shane Company provides superior quality and superior value. Our rings are made so well, we offer you a warranty that's free for a lifetime and even covers your center stone. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
There's a kid in my class that got a boner at PE in high school. He was wearing sweatpants. It was really embarrassing, so this song goes out to him.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Oh my God! All right, who's Representative Jim Banks? Who is this? Steve Kerr, who owes everything to American sports fans, would sooner defend the Chinese Communist Party than visit the White House. Outrageous. Oh gosh, yeah, that's good. So you don't think that the NBA told them all to shut up? I mean, do you? Yeah, this is what happens, man. This is what happens when you go into politics and you're outspoken, and not only are you turn out to look like you're a hypocrite, but then you have stupid crap like that. I'm sure Steve Kerr supports the Communist Party. What? My God, I just want to watch dudes play basketball. I do. I mean, listen, if I don't like what Steve Kerr has to say, I don't really care about it. All right? I'll turn it off when he starts talking about politics. I turn everybody off when they start talking about politics. You should turn me off when I start talking about politics. You shouldn't care. That's not why you're here. Crying out loud. God, stupid stuff just multiplies even more stupid. Defend the Chinese Communist Party. All right. I don't know who this dude is, but that's classic right there. Is he from our state, Jim Banks? Good Lord, I'm glad. I don't know how you guys do it. How do you guys do it? Because ultimately, when you do this and you talk, you end up, no matter what you do, you end up being a hypocrite. And then nobody ever owns it. I mean, at the very least with sports, I end up going, well, you know what? They had a good season. I thought they were going to suck. So I got to wear that. I got to own it. It's like business as usual with you political hacks out there, for crying out loud. No, I'm trying not to, Grutshot. No, I'm not. I'm not going to hang here for a minute. I just saw that. And that's just the type of stupidity that goes on. Yeah, I'm sure supporting the Chinese Communist Party. Yeah, okay. Know how you guys do it. See, that is why you guys need to be here. All this other stuff has to drive you nuts because it's so stupid. God, it makes everybody sound stupid, look stupid. I mean, hey, look at the past 3 minutes of me bringing this up. Look how stupid I sound. God. Sure. Everybody wants to support the Chinese Communist Party. All right. God, I just want to watch dudes play basketball. I do. I love basketball. I just want to watch guys play. I want to talk about guys playing. I don't really give a crap what they think about China or not. Thank you. Just hang here. Don't go to the stupidity. Don't be a part of the stupidity. Be a part of the solution. That's not being a part of the solution. This is. You're welcome. Hey, JMV, how about the Steel Horse Saloon at Johnny's Junction on Monday? I know exactly where that is. I don't go by there too much because of I-69, but I know exactly where that is. JMV, I am still trying to wake up from the sleep that Chris Collinsworth put me in, talking so much about Patrick Mahomes. Pat Mahomes this, Pat Mahomes that. I mentioned this yesterday. The problem you have with that's how everybody in the world felt during the entire Manning era, all right? I mean, seriously, any team that ever played the Colts, ask one of the 5 people that will cop to being a Titans fan. Or one of the 3 people that will cop to being a Jaguars fan. Ask them. You know what they'll say? They'll say, that's exactly how we felt then watching the Manning-led Colts. Listen, in a game like that, you know you're going to get – and Patrick Mahomes, to me, seems like a really good dude. And he is incredible. When he is healthy, not after the Touré effect – but prior to the Touré effect, that dude's going around with arm strength and angles and sidearm and incredible. And then after the Touré effect, it didn't happen. I'm not. Hey, Ben Orr, I'm not going to go there, man. Listen, I'm your oasis from the stupidity of some elected official accusing Steve Kerr to be a part of the Chinese Communist Party. Sympathizer. Yes. What a numbnut. God, how can you be so stupid? Who is this? I'm calling somebody stupid I don't know. Thank God. Hey, JMV, you hit the nail on the head. At the point you move into talking about politics, you will sound like it. There is no way around it. You will either, one of 2 options here talking about politics. You're either going to sound like an incredible hypocrite because nobody ever owns anything, or you're just going to sound like an idiot, like I am right now. It's a lose-lose. Seriously. Listen to somebody. Listen to somebody that's talking about it. Listen to somebody that's right and take that and see if I'm not right. Either hypocritical or stupid. Never owning it. And we got to own our mistakes here because, hey, you know what? The Colts, they're going to go 8-8. They end up being a 10-win, 11-win team. I got to own that. Now, you think the Colts are going to be great? Or no, you think the Pacers are going to be great this year, right? Because you saw 2 preseason games. You're excited about it. Maybe they're not going to be that exciting. I got to own that. I got to wear it. Just don't even mess with it. Keep it locked in right here, and I'm glad you are. I'm putting the fist up right now, the fist pump to you, because I don't think we're on YouTube because the light's not on. Joe writes, other side, I've got anything goes. You guys may want to be all in on that, and that's cool. I believe we're going to bring that back coming up in about 30 minutes. Sit tight.
24 hours a day.
Let's start right there.
7 days a week.
Sounds like we got ourselves a deal here.
The Fan's Colts insider, Kevin Bowen, brings you Indy's best, latest, and greatest team updates. Free access to your favorite team, your favorite players, and your favorite multimedia journalist.
Jacoby Brissett's backup until you make that veteran QB move.
Kevin Bowen. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. And online at 1075thefan.com.
Attention, men. It's a proven fact that a lack of intimacy in a relationship can hurt self-esteem and lead to emotional detachment. Let the Indianapolis Men's Clinic help you create the relationship you have always wanted and put an end to ED and PE with one visit. Erectile dysfunction and premature issues are simple to eliminate with the right treatments and the providers that understand how they work. The doctors at Indianapolis Men's Clinic offer the latest and available treatments with same-day solutions for erectile and premature issues. You can increase ability and stamina in just one visit. Most men think the little blue pills or testosterone are the only options. Not true. Call 999-9000 to meet with a licensed medical providers no matter what age you are. And even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or have had your prostate removed, they can help you too. 999-9000. 999-9000. Or go to indymensclinic.com. That number again, 999-9000.
It's been almost 40 years since the Hoosiers were as large a favorite in a conference game as they are this Saturday against Rutgers. With this Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowen. Indiana is minus 27.5 versus the Scarlet Knights in early wagering, marking the largest number the Hoosiers have laid to a Big Ten opponent since 1980. While Rutgers has not won a Big Ten game since 2017 and have a 17-game losing streak against Power 5 opponents, it's covered the number in 4 of their 5 meetings with Indiana. Last season in Piscataway, the Hoosiers won 24-17, but failed to cover as 14.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, for the second season in a row, Notre Dame is a double-digit favorite against USC, laying 11 points to the Trojans Saturday in South Bend. But USC's Clay Helton is the worst coach in the country when it comes to covering spreads as an underdog, going 3-12 against the spread when catching points. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com. Give Darren Andrews a call if you want that real growing hair again. Seriously. I'm trying to get you that growth, that spark in your follicle growth that will take you back. You don't want to lose it. You are losing it right now. I mean, dudes over 35 just start losing it, right? Unless you're incredibly fortunate. If you're not one of the fortunate, check out PAI and what Darren Andrews can do for you with PRP, platelet-rich plasma, the number 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
This is Mark Rowland from Indy Decorative Concrete. We've put our stamp in more backyards than anybody. Thanks to all the DIY shows, stamped concrete is finally getting its recognition. And why not? With all the textures, colors, we can even make your patio look like wood. Now here's the big win for you. I can still get your patio in this fall with a warranty. Drop by our website at indydecorativeconcrete.com, then give me a call.
Indy Decorative Concrete. Order it, stamp it, love it. Chad and Tyler Peterman.
Before Old Man Winter arrives, now's the time to call Peterman for our $59 preseason furnace tune-up.
It's a great way to make sure your home stays comfortable in cold weather.
And at just $59, our furnace tune-up is a smart investment for your peace of mind.
But don't delay. Winter will be here sooner than you think.
Schedule your $59 preseason tune-up today.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
So, you're a Cubs fan. Well, hold on to your helmet nachos, because Marquee Sports Network is coming with more Cubs than ever. In fact, more is a bit of an understatement. A huge home runs landing on Waveland-sized understatement. Because Marquee Sports Network will bring you pregame, postgame, game, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and on top of the scoreboard. A network as dedicated as you. Marquee Sports Network, the exclusive new television home of Cubs baseball. Coming February 2020.
Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. Pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. Your Colts tickets are waiting. Be there October 20th for the divisional matchup against the Texans. Get your tickets today at Colts.com/tickets. The Ride with JMV.
I don't understand a word you just said.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Oh, welcome back. Yeah, Joe Wright's coming up in about 15 minutes. You guys sit tight for that. JJ, earlier we talked about the love that I had out of the first 2 preseason games. It was a weird feeling. I never felt that way regarding NBA preseason games, but both were incredibly enjoyable. Very refreshing, and not one ridiculous Euro step miss layup to the hole. It was just outstanding. It was. And while I know everything that plays into it, I know it's a preseason game and it doesn't matter. It's half a globe away. Who cares? And it's Sacramento and they stink. And I know all of that. It's, October. Who cares? Hey, the one thing that JJ and I talked about regarding the Pacers that will stand to be accurate, and again, I'm a must-win guy, and I'm not going to apologize for it. The one thing that is accurate, you look at the start of that season, and you know that Vic is not going to come back until, late December, sometime in January. Again, it's me throwing a dart at a dartboard. But you look at those early season games and you tell me that this team needs to not flourish, because they do. I mean, take advantage of the schedule when you can take advantage of the schedule. It'd be nice to see them come out and play really well. Think about this for a moment. You guys ready? Detroit, opening night to 23rd, at home. On the road at Cleveland. My man Dylan Windler. At Detroit. At Brooklyn. Cleveland back at home. Chicago. At Charlotte. Washington. Detroit again. At Orlando. Now, I know Brooklyn going to be a playoff team, right? Are there any other playoff teams until you get to Orlando on November the 10th besides Brooklyn? From a year ago or this year? I mean, you got to take advantage. And even after that, Oklahoma City, look at how they've been decimated. At Houston, Milwaukee, then it starts to get tougher. So that early schedule, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the early season 9-game stretch, get off to a damn good start here. Must-win guy coming out in the NBA in October. It's ugly. Yeah, tell me that they don't need to start out that well. They do. Hey, by the way, too, quick shout. You ready? Juan Dixon, formerly of the Maryland Terrapins, is 41 years old. If he's 41, how the hell old am I? Holy crap. 41. Juan Dixon's 41? God, I'm going to be 50. 50? Remember back in the day how old 50 was? Like 50's not. I think of 50 now and I go, hey, I feel great. My knees suck, but I feel great. And back in the day, anybody that was 50 was old and decrepit, and hey, what are you guys going to do? The only thing you do is roll out and play bingo. That's about it. Juan Dixon's 41? It's from Andrew Benson. Hey, I'll take it. JMV thinks there are more Titans fans than Jags fans. I think 5-4. You guys win it 5-4. Well done. That is classic right there. JMV, did you see your guy, the neck tat, got it done for the Cardinals? How'd that make you feel? Listen, I mentioned this. Tucker Barnhart's trying to walk me off the ledge with neck tat and trying to make me like him. So I didn't have much of a feeling for it. Fred Johnson wants to know, do I think the Pacers can win 50 games? No. I think I said what? The Vegas odds were at 47? The over-under was 47? I think I said 48. 50 is just two more. You think they'll go over 47 or under 47 this year?
I think they're going to go over. I mean, they won, 48 last year, and I think they're a much better team than what they were last year.
It does look like it. But that sample size of it being a preseason game, but man, do they look like they can score from a lot of different areas. They look deeper. And it's not just me all being excited because I don't have to watch Tyreek Evans ever again. They look a lot better, look more exciting. Just scoring threats. I don't think I'm going overboard on this bad boy. JMV, how do we arrange a broadcast from our location? I was mentioning this a little bit earlier. So I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday. My mom is having a surgery, so I'm going to go down to GC for that. And I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday. Chris Denary and JJ are going to be in for me on both days. Tucker Barnhart's going to join them at the Winner's Circle with our Larceny Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots with Brent Halverson from the Winner's Circle on Thursday. But you got JJ and you got Denary Thursday and Friday in studio, or Friday, I should say, in studio for me as well. I'm going to be out next Tuesday, but I will be on Monday. I'm taking the equipment, and I need to go somewhere to plug in. All I need is a plug-in. And you're going to say, well, why can't you just do it from your house? Well, my mom lives really, really far out in the sticks, and I don't think I can get a signal. So I was looking for a place around Bedford, which is not too far, maybe to go plug in. Corner booth, something like that. That's why I was asking. And again, I've got friends of the show. Like, I know I could go out to the Four Winds and do it out there with my man Tony. But I was looking for somewhere around Bedford, which is, 15 minutes from where I grew up. So maybe something like that. If you got a place, let me know. Bedford, Bloomfield. Then the only signal I can get where I'm from, if I go sit in the cemetery on top of the hill, I might be able to get a signal. But now it'd be a blast. I'll go to somebody's place down there, just going to plug. No matter what you have, I'll just plug in. See what happens. Go from there. This is from Mike Sando. What's your thought on Purdue Boilermaker hoopage this season? I know it's going to be hard to live up to last year. I think that they're going to be a third or fourth place team this year. I do. I have a lot. I have a lot of confidence in them being able to remain very good this year. And I think as the season goes along, I think they're going to get even better, which essentially is what we saw last year with that basketball team. I mean, Indiana, I'm still kind of wondering, like somebody asked me, I think it was Heath asked me a little bit earlier what I thought about Devontae Green being lauded about being one of the better players in the Big Ten this year. And listen, make no mistake, the guy's got an offensive skill set. He can score the basketball at that level. There's no doubt about it. But there's going to have to be a lot of other things that are also going to go into the positive category for him to be that guy, to be able to rely on him. There's going to be a lot more that goes into it. But is he that type of player? Yes, he is. An offensively skilled at scoring the basketball player. But that's not always been there. He has been as inconsistent and as frustrating a player that we have seen in the past couple of years. It's counting on a lot there. JMV, is Baker Mayfield going to go to the grave of former Browns quarterbacks within 3 years? Take his Hulu money and run. That's from Joel Bragg. It does not look like. I mean, it's the combination that I talked about. This is like the Bermuda Triangle or the Cleveland Triangle of failure here. I mean, we're talking about a team that's a game under 500. Again, just 5 weeks through the season. But looked just ridiculously awful last night on Monday Night Football in San Francisco. Now, early in the season, whatever. But the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, if you will, of negatives here would be you got a yip-yapping quarterback that doesn't have a lot to yip-yap about right now, that really hadn't proven anything, but everybody kind of likes it because he chugs beers, right? He's a beer chugger. He's one of the guys, and that's great. The head coach is a player's player, grunting and groaning. That's Freddie Kitchens. And then you get a wide receiver that's a complete and utter diva. That's a bad combination on a football team right there. And I said that back in the summer, and I remain steadfast in that belief right now. That's a bad combo. Hey, JMV, people who say you're overreacting to the Pacers are the same people who consistently focus on the negative. Be positive about this team all you want. I hope so too, man. It was fun to watch him. JMV, if you're going to Bedford, can you make an interview with Damon Bailey happen? I don't know. If he wants to come by, he can. Normally, I find out what happens to Damon Bailey from his friend and worker, Poodle Baxter, who I had 1 year of college with, Poodle, Shannon Poodle Baxter. His nickname was Poodle. Normally, Poodle will call and say, hey, Damon says hi. Can you get tickets to this? Hey, Damon says hello. Can you get tickets to see Timberlake? Poodle. JMV, my dad is buried at that cemetery on top of the hill in Owensburg. Yep, that's Eric Hatfield. I don't know where my dad's buried, but my grandparents are up. My entire family's up there. I'd probably be up there too, but man, I'm not going in the ground, boys. Somebody's just going to have to find a good spot for me up on the mantle. There's no way. I can't imagine. I shouldn't talk about that, right? What do you guys want to hear? You got sports, politics, or me being cremated? Which one? My urge to be cremated. You guys all in on this conversation? Travis is at 239-1070. Did that kind of urge you to call? Did that give you reason to call me? Which one? My cremation in the future or politics or what? What did it for you?
No, I'm a GC boy, and I'm voting for Aggie's Funhouse for Monday.
You think they would allow me to plug in down there? Is that still Davey Hash is still owning it?
Oh yeah, still Davey and Rusty. Yeah, they definitely.
I bet Rusty would let me plug in down there.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I love Aggie's Funhouse. I bet that thing was hopping last weekend during the festival.
Oh, I didn't get home for it, but I bet it was.
I didn't either. Always feel bad about that, man. Everybody's having a great party down there, and I don't get to go. I may have to get. I know Rusty still pretty well, so I may have to ask if I can get down to Aggie's Funhouse. That'd be good.
It'd be a good place. Hey, thanks, JMV. Have a great day.
Travis, great call right there. Aggie's Funhouse is one of the great bars of all time. One of the great rural Indiana small town bars. Aggie's Funhouse. JMV, I know a place. Do it from the Springville Auction Barn. Or I could do it from the Odin Meat Locker. I could do it from the Meat Locker. Thanks. The Springville Auction Barn. Really, I kind of wanted to be, like, if I had another career, I think I'm going to be a farmer, but I also thought about trying to be an auctioneer. See you later.
Can you imagine JMV 88 as an
555, give
auctioneer?
me 55555. Yeah. You don't think I could be an auctioneer? 555, give me 555. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to be so hopped up on, these dudes are good too. I know. I don't know. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. We'll do an anything goes at the bottom of the hour, but I don't want to do that before we get our next guest on. He's a part of the Colts Roundtable Live. We occasionally see him during the Colts pregame huddle. Hopefully we will coming up before the Houston game. Our guy Joe Wrights joins us. You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I had my bye week, the game against the Raiders, which missed a not-so-good one, but I'll be back for the last 6, and, boy, with the win against Kansas City, it was funny to just hear, talking with friends and family, people around town, just how low everybody was on the Colts after that Oakland game. And then now it was a season-changing win in some aspects. But I think everybody saw, too, that Oakland's a little better than people thought. And I think this Colts team is better than everybody thought. But I think the bottom line is it's the NFL. And John, 32 teams with 53 professionals getting paid any week, any given Sunday. A lot of crazy stuff can happen. We've really seen that league-wide the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. The only thing that still remained disappointed for me regarding that Oakland game was just how dominated I felt that they were on both sides of the football up front. And to flip the script, how dominating they were against Kansas City. I know Kansas City is a team that has been dominated, especially against the run. But what I ask about, Joe, is a level of consistency here, because clearly that line, we'll start with that, offensively has it in them. Have they now found the springboard to consistent type of play as we saw on Sunday night at Arrowhead?
I think so, and obviously was Oakland their best game? No, but I think the other 4 games this season, they played really well. And I go back to Oakland did some different things too. When you're playing their defense with Paul Gunther, who was in Cincinnati forever, and played against them a bunch of times, they always had an extra guy up in the box, which people talk about getting 8 guys in the box and an extra defender. What Oakland does, though, is they bring that safety up, and so now they have some extra gap control, so those guys can stunt and move. And I think that's what kind of gave the Colts problems more than anything, was those guys moving pre-snap and on the snap. So I think they watched the film, they figured it out, and I do think you saw not only a very well-played game by that offensive line, you saw an angry offensive line. And I think they took out the frustration from that Oakland game. They took out the frustration from the divisional playoff game last year, and that was a statement not only to Kansas City but the rest of the NFL. They didn't just go in and beat them. They dominated them. They broke their will. They punched them in the mouth, whatever cliche you want to use. But they were the tougher team, and they bullied the Chiefs up and down the field. To me, that's what I'm most fired up about.
Yeah, it's,
Had the Colts won the game 31-30 and, been the scoreboard, that would have been great too. But going in there and just dominating them physically, I think that's what's awesome, because that's what wins in the playoffs in bad conditions in January football.
Joe Wright's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I completely agree. I thought, to me, the game-changing moment was Teray. And when he got in on Mahomes, and Mahomes came up gimpy and then got even more gimpy, that took a lot of what Mahomes has been through an MVP season and so far this year away. That helped. I thought that defense managed things and really get after him. I thought Teray was, and he's going to be a missing piece now moving forward, but I thought that was the moment of the game.
Yeah, it was, and boy, he's really been playing well and really been on the come, and so that's kind of a little bit of a black cloud missing him. But guys like Ben, Banagoo and some other guys are going to have to step up, and it's next man up like it is for everybody. But I thought what the Colts did is they got pressure, they hit Mahomes, they beat him up a little bit, but they stayed disciplined in their rush lanes. I know everybody's going to talk about that 3rd and 18 play when he spun out, and Chris Collinsworth is probably still talking about it, right? But
yeah.
Bottom line is, for the most part, they were disciplined in their rush lanes. They kept him in the pocket, bottled him up, and that defensive line just got after the O-line. And what was great, they were doing it with a 4-man rush. And if you want to beat these really good quarterbacks, the Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, Drew Brees, all those guys, if you can get pressure with 4 and you can drop 7 into coverage and play, either man or zone and have some extra defensive backs there, the Colts were able to get pressure with 4. And that's what really was great to see, how good not only the offensive line played, but the defensive line as well.
I agree. That's Joe Wrights via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. When was the last time you saw as dominating a performance really on both lines, and in particular the offensive line, as we saw on Sunday night?
I mean, when they went to that key drive in the 4th quarter, the stats for that drive were 14 plays for 35 yards that took up 8 minutes and 34 seconds. And, I mean, it's crazy to think they only got 35 yards. Obviously, they called that crazy, awful pass interference calling T.Y. and he didn't touch a guy. But those 14, 11 were runs. 2 passes thrown and Vinny's field goal. But they were coming downhill. They knew it. The Chiefs' D-line knew it. Everybody in Arrowhead Stadium knew it, and they couldn't do anything about it. And to me, not only did that drive kind of, was a microcosm for the game, to me, that brought the team closer. I mean, when you saw the way they were high-fiving each other and getting excited, and Jacoby and Ryan Kelly walking off the field, I mean, that's just such a fun thing to do that is so rare in the NFL. It's so rare that you can be that physically dominant and just run somebody over when they know it's coming. I thought the Colts did that. I thought they further forged their identity as a team that offensively is going to be driven by this, O-line. And I thought it was just, like I said, a great springboard for them. You got a bye week now, which Lord knows the Colts needed to get some guys healthy. But now you're talking about a huge game setting up with Houston coming in. And Houston's got to go to Kansas City next week. You hope that the Chiefs are, woke up the hornet's nest a little bit. But, boy, if you can get that home game in a week and a half at Lucas Oil, you are really setting yourself up for some success the rest of the season.
Yeah, and KC is incredibly dinged up going into that game this weekend against the Texans as well. That is Joe Wrights that joins us. Am I wrong about this? Actually, I got this from my mom, so I'll give it up to my mom. My mom thinks that my mom thinks that George Odom and Kari Willis deserve more snaps, even when the normal starters return.
I would say I think they both played great. I thought George Odom was the unsung hero of the game. He came out of nowhere on that 3rd and 28 play and tackled the guy a yard short. You know, everybody talks about Justin Houston when he didn't get blocked on that 4th and 1. But if they get that first down, we could be singing a different song. But I think him and Kari Willis both bring such an energy, a toughness. They're coming downhill. They're not afraid to fly on and hit you. But I do still think that, you know, Malik Hooker is Malik Hooker and a first-round draft pick for a reason. And, you know, as much as I love, you know, George Odom, he's not making that play Malik Hooker made week 1 in Los Angeles. You know, and kind of the same about Clayton Geathers being a veteran. So I think those two young guys are playing really hard. And I do think they're earning more playing time with the snaps and how productive they've been. But I still do think that Clayton Geathers and Malik Hooker are a really good tandem of safeties. And when they come back, you know, they're going to go back to their starting role.
I'm going to make a note of this. Insinuation from Joe writes that my mom is wrong in her assessments in the secondary.
No. Don't tell her that.
Making
don't
a
tell her
note.
She's right. Yeah.
It's funny because that's like the first thing that she watches every game, obviously, and every game of the Colts and every game of the Pacers. And the first thing she said was, you know, the guys in the secondary, and she mentioned specifically both Odom and Willis deserve more snaps even when other guys come back. And I agree with you. I mean, we're talking about guys that, you know, are number 1 picks and playmakers for a reason. But
Right.
I mean, I
I'll
think
say this
the way
about
the
Kari
guys
Willis.
fly, the way these guys make plays on the ball and fly to the ball, I mean, that to me deserves more snaps in itself.
I'll say this about Kari Willis. You know, when he came, when the Chiefs were backed up on their own 5, if you remember, late in the game, and it was an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, and he came downhill, read that play, and absolutely stoned the running back at the line of scrimmage, and he went backwards. That reminded me of watching Bob Sanders back in the day. And I know he's only played 5 games, and I'm not comparing him to Bob Sanders at all, but I'm saying the way that play unfolded, the way he read it that quickly and came downhill and kind of set that tone where, you know, you expect linebackers to make that type of vicious hit, not necessarily safeties. That play watching me brought me back a little bit, and Sanders doing that. And just, I think Kari Willis has an incredibly bright future. And, you know, for the Colts to get him in the 4th round, that's looking like, again, another great draft pick by Chris Ballard and another steal.
I couldn't remember the last time, and maybe it's recently, and I should remember. I couldn't remember the last time a guy like when Odom did made a play on the ball and punched it away as he did. I can't remember the last time that happened, and then I can't remember the last time we've seen this team be able to run this. See, somebody's calling me right now. Sorry about that. Be able to run the football as effectively. When you mentioned earlier, they know that it's coming and not be able to do anything about it. I can't remember a time.
Yep. And punching the football is something that I know they practice and they teach. You know, it's one thing for a coach to talk about turnovers. It's another thing to practice it day after day after day. And, you know, practicing punching the ball out doesn't get any press in OTAs in May and training camp in July. But when you have game-changing plays like that and you're punching the ball out, it's because you're teaching it, you're coaching it, and you're practicing how to do it. You know, that's similar to back in the day when Coach Dungy was here and, you know, they were running the same defense. And with a huge focus on turnovers, you're starting to see, I think, some of that come to fruition with guys making game-changing plays.
Joe writes, you can catch him on Colts Roundtable Live every Monday night with Sorge and with Matt, and then with Big Joe and I. Coming up next, after the bye week, the Houston game, and we'll be ready for you in the Colts pregame huddle. My friend, it is always an excellent time to be joined by you. We'll do it again soon.
Sounds good. What are you doing for your bye week? You're off this Sunday, too. What you got planned?
My mom's having an operation on Thursday, so I'm going down to GC to make sure everything is handled correctly, and I'll be there until probably next Tuesday. And I'm going to try to do one show live from down there on a Monday, but, we're going to make sure everything goes okay.
Good for you for helping with her. And I tell you what, every time I hear Greene County, I think back to the 6th grade AAU team. Best one we played all year, led by A.J. Graves in White River Valley. We saw this team, the Greene County Stars, you know, and we're a bunch of kids from Fishers and Carmel thinking, who are these guys? We're going to roll them. And when we were down 20 points at halftime, we're like, whoa, these guys can play down here in Southern Indiana.
They, I mean, that group certainly, there have been a lot of WRVs and especially Graves family members. But, yeah, it's when you get a group of those kids together from that area, it's normally trouble for those up here that haven't seen them before and think it's going to be a walkover. So it's trouble.
It is. Yeah, every time I hear Greene County, I flash back to that game.
Well done, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, John.
It's Joe Wrights on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Oh, man, Greene County kids, what? Yeah, basketball-wise, that's what. That's what right there. There's not a lot. Listen, basketball is about it. That's why it's still, in places like that, it's why everybody sells out gyms and you still fill it up because it's still an event down there because, frankly, there's not much else to do. Right, Todd? Yeah, not much else to do except going to Friday and Saturday. All right, do you really want to do this on the other side? You all good with it? All right, you guys have asked. We haven't done this in months. And I'm thinking if we're going to do it, maybe now is the time. You guys want to do it? Anything goes on the other side at 239-1070? We'll see here. I'm not going to tell you not to be complete jackass because I'm really not supposed to if it's anything goes. But we haven't done it in a while. We'll go 239-1070. We'll do a segment of Anything Goes with you coming up on the other side. And, whether it's something I've hit on so far, something you want to get into, something that you're outraged about, is something, what are you, woke? Is that what we're buzzword now is woke? And that's the first time I've ever used it, and I've never been so proud of myself in my life. It's the first time I've ever said the word woke. Whatever the issue might be, 239-1070. I believe we're going to bring it back at least for a segment here. Anything goes. Other side next.
Sports gamblers, let's go. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 to Bet Indiana right here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's JMV, and I'm here with Rick DeMoling, Indianapolis professional football player. So, Rick, I saw your before picture on We Grow Hair Indy's website, and I cannot believe your results already.
Yeah, it's only been 4 months, and I'm absolutely loving it.
You know what? For me, too. I just needed to restore the hair in my crown area.
And my hair is growing through the top of my head and with a new hairline.
Well, that's because you choose PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution thing. At PAI, all the solutions that work, they do.
Yeah, when you play football, you customize your play based on the players, and that's exactly what Darren and his team does at PAI.
And I like to call it residing the playing field.
This is Darren Andrews. Whether you need to restore your crown, your hairline, or just have thinning in the temples, we designed the right treatment plan with the best technology for you. Call for a free evaluation, 888-724-5129. That's 888-724-5129.
That's 888-724-5129. And tell them JMV and Rick sent you.
When I say you should get your furnace tuned up every year, you might think I'm just blowing hot air. But studies show yearly tune-ups can actually make your furnace last a whole lot longer. So if you haven't had your furnace maintenance this winter, give the experts at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning a call. It's the best way to make sure your house stays warm this winter and many, many winters to come. And here's some more reasons to call them. 1 Hour Furnace Tune-Ups pinpoint potential problems way ahead of time. You get the regular maintenance, and that can prolong the life of your system. Their techs, more importantly, know Indianapolis well. They know what you may need for special attention in this environment. They're total pros, courteous, respectful of your home and time, and they stand by their work. If you know your system needs repair, they have a straightforward pricing guide so you'll know what you're paying for before they even start. Right now, just $79 for a furnace tune-up. $79. Now, don't wait for the winter weather to get here. Call my friends at 855-1-HOUR today and schedule a $79 furnace tune-up. 855-1-HOUR. Terms and conditions apply. Call for details. License 800-10668.
All right, got new tires on the Tundra today. I feel really good. The ride is comfortable. I got a great deal, courtesy of my friends at CarX. The Joe Childers run CarX locations in Central Indiana. And a shout out to my man Micah and the gang at 135 down in Greenwood because they are the best. Did you know that CarX is your place for tires? Well, if you didn't, you do now. Did you know that it's the place for brakes? Well, sure you did because it's been that way forever. But anything mechanically done, they can do, and do it in a way that you trust. With great pricing, people you can count on, certified technicians, and just the overall experience with people you can trust. That's the CarX I know. Tell Joe Childers I sent you, your trusted auto repair specialist in Indianapolis for over 40 years. It's CarX.
Bowling, 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 keep them balls a rolling. Bowling, bowling,
Pin Entertainment is a great place to upgrade your office holiday party this year. Get a great tasting food buffet with several delicious menu options, including pizza, barbecue, and the tailgate. Unlimited soft drinks, games of bowling, and shoes, all for as low as $27 per person. Become the office hero by scoring bowling, food, and fun for your entire team. Upgrade your fun by adding drinks from their wonderful selection of adult beverages, craft beer, laser tag, or games from the arcade. With 3 convenient locations around the Indianapolis area, Royal Pin Entertainment is ready to host your group and help make your end-of-year festivities memorable. Email events@royalpin.com or visit royalpin.com to book your group's party today.
Royal Pin.
Royal Pin. Hey, it's Chuck Jones from Bill Estes Chevrolet, and I'm here with TK. So excited about the football season with some hot new deals.
Wait, football season's almost over.
Not that football, TK. I'm talking about the real football. Just like these real deals. Up to $4,000 more for your trade and Silverados from $199 a month.
My football is real, but those deals sound pretty real too.
Find new roads to Bill Estes Chevy or online at BillEstesChevy.com.
Just ask for the real football deal.
He means the TK deal.
Is your business still settling for slow internet? Well, time is money. Switch to Comcast Business now and get a great deal on fast, reliable internet. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, installation when it works for you, and 24/7 customer support, it's time to take your business beyond. Right now, get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Plus, we offer solutions like powerful Wi-Fi that thinks about what customers want, and automatic internet backup that can keep your business running. So what are you waiting for? Get the internet your business really needs. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 11/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited up to 8 hours.
Summer is over and cold weather is coming, and Universal Windows Direct will help you keep those heating bills down. Custom made to perform in our climate thanks to aerospace technology called Super Spacer, Universal Windows Direct windows are backed by a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free, absolutely no limits, and 0% financing is available for 3 years and free installation. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Homes are selling fast, and if you haven't found your dream home, listings are coming onto market daily. Get a leg up on your competition and get pre-approved in 5 minutes at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a damn hurry.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This may be against my better judgment here, but I'm gonna pin this on Kyle because he's the one that brought it up today. Did you guys read this thing from Mike Silver that Richard Sherman claimed that Baker Mayfield that did not shake hands before the game, thus disrespecting the game because he hadn't been there and done that? And apparently, as it turns out, he lied about the entire thing. Why? Other than just being a jackass. You think we'll ever live in a world where jackassery is not at 85% as it seems to be right now? I mean, we're like an 85% jackass level right now. I mean, why? And then Kyle mentioned this during the break, and now he's on Twitter saying, hey, what's the big deal? I mean, well, it's plenty of big deal. I mean, I'm no Baker Mayfield fan, but I mean, why? Just why? And really, there is no other way to explain it other than being a jackass. The jackassery of it. That's the only way to explain it because it doesn't make sense otherwise. There's no like you get with Nick Bosa. There was no prior connection or outrage from a college game. There was just the notion of, I think I'm going to be a jackass. And then behave that way. Incredible. Let's all stop. Like one day, we'll just all need to go through an anti-jackass day and then see how that thing turns out. One day. All right. I don't know if that's the best segue to go into this. 239-1070. We go anything goes. Line 1, you're in. Who's this? Go ahead.
Hey, it's Alex from Pendleton. How you doing?
Great. Go ahead.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that the one thing I don't hear anybody talking about that I've noticed more than anything with Frank Reich, especially this year, is the fundamentals of wrapping up and finishing tackles. That has been the greatest improvement I have seen, and I can't remember how long it has been since I have seen that. Wright's mentioned the turnovers and Bob Sanders, absolutely, but how about just finishing those tackles? It's been awesome.
I can get that too. I didn't notice it so bad on Sunday night, but in Oakland you did, or at home against Oakland you did. In other games, I've recognized that too. Not so much on Sunday night though.
I'll give them a game, and they don't even have their best tackler back. We got Leonard coming back, thank God, off the protocol there.
But that shouldn't affect your tackling if that's been somewhat of an issue, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's nice to see some fundamental play. It's nice to see good, solid coaching again. It's nice to see the lack of mistakes and the attention to detail with the analytics. They talked about that during the game. It's nice to see that no longer chopping wood, and now we're getting into the real detail.
Gotcha. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that, Alex and Pendleton. My Apple News spotlight just hit on this before I get to the next call. What we're talking about, the backlash against fake meat, what makes rich people so mean, and why you should stop raking leaves. What the? Fake meat? Only fake meat. Line 2's anything goes. You're on the air. Who's this?
Yeah, hi, this is Lee from Pittsburgh.
Lee from Pittsburgh. Talk to us.
Hey, I'm just wondering if you heard anything. I've heard some scuttlebutt lately about real reason Andrew Luck might have hung it up because he was addicted to painkillers.
I mean, it's just, that's been, I shouldn't say that that's a legitimate story, but I mean, people ask about reasons all the time, and that's one that's been thrown out, but I found no validation to it whatsoever, if that helps you out.
I was just curious.
I mean, there have been a variety of things, and that's one. Thank you for the call, but no, I've not, other than just hearing that being a rumor, I've not heard any validation whatsoever to that. Thank you, Lee in Pittsburgh. Anything goes. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, John, this is Tom from Avon.
Great, go ahead.
Anything goes. Glad you bring back. I want to tee off on the NBA for just a moment. I tell you what, I'm not the biggest NBA fan. I follow the Pacers and, regional teams. But I tell you what, I don't really trying to make a political statement. It doesn't really matter what my side of the fence is. But the point is, so many athletes disrespect our government, disrespect the United States. One thing after another, we see with our athletes a lot with the NBA. We saw the NBA say, we're not going to have an all-star game in Charlotte, North Carolina, because somebody said something about same-sex marriages. But yet Adam Silver can bend over and say, thank you, sir, give me another, to a Chinese dictator because an NBA coach said something to the effect that China needs to stop oppressing Hong Kong. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and it really gives them a bad name. And from the business aspect of it, I think they're just taking one to choke on it for the NBA and the business and the brand. And I think that ordinary fans like myself think that's highly disgusting. I'll let you talk.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right, here's how I take this, okay? It is about the money. It is about China because China is the incredibly huge frontier, right, for the NBA. And should it be handled this way? No. But this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm glad in Avon you listen to the show every day. But for God's sake, can we separate the basketball? And I know the players and the coaches, you got a select few that bring this up, but just kind of be like me and just kind of separate it. Don't care. I don't care either way. I mean, I wouldn't care. I don't care. I'm never going to care. I just want to watch some damn basketball. That's all. That's all. I don't care. I mean, I don't care about political things when it comes to LeBron James. I don't care about Taco Tuesday when it comes to LeBron James. I don't care what Steve Kerr has to say. He has an opinion that's great. I don't care what the NBA wants to be in China, but I do understand that they are worried about their ultimate financial gain as being a part of that. I just want to watch basketball, man. I do. And if that makes me head in the sand idiot, then so damn be it. I don't care. And see, I know a lot of people say that, but few actually abide by it. And I do. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, because all you end up getting, you get this like dude named Jim Banks, who's a state rep from Fort Wayne, that says something like, well, clearly now Steve Kerr supports the Chinese Communist Party. Well, I mean, no, he doesn't. But what he does do is understands when the NBA and Adam Silver says, okay, you can't talk about this right now. You've got to abide. Frankly, I wish they all would, but on the other hand, then people would get on them for abiding and for not speaking out. So I just want to watch basketball. If that makes me a knucklehead, buried in the sand, or not woke, or whatever it is, then so be it. But I want to watch hoop. Line 4 is anything goes. Who be this?
Hey, Jay, this is Ted from Anderson.
Hello.
Hey, love the show. Hey, just didn't know if you were excited about the Irishman coming out, the new Scorsese, probably the last one on the gangster movies.
One more time. You cut out there.
I'm sorry. The Irishman's coming out on Netflix. The old Martin Scorsese is going to be the last gangster film. Like Goodfellas and all
Give me
those.
some Scorsese all day, brother. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. What Scorsese is your favorite?
You're going to laugh at me. I love The Wolf of Wall Street, but that would not be probably a big pick with lots of people. But Goodfellas, I mean, those are all great. So
I'd agree with you on that. I mean, Goodfellas. I think Goodfellas is good. I think and it shouldn't be this way. Kind of the jump to shark. Whenever Tommy gets off, I kind of find myself not being as interested. Is that fair to say?
That's very much. I almost started crying when that happened. He was a great character.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know, man. He just saw his mom.
Yeah.
I love when they're in and they're eating like in the middle of the night at Tommy's mom's house, and you got what's his name in the trunk of the car, and they take the butcher knife out.
Their dog goes the other way. Oh yeah.
One dog. Yeah. He goes,
Reminds me of the guy in the trunk. Yeah.
He's saying, "What do you want from me?" So that's great. Thanks. I like talking Goodfellas right there. Do I need a break here? All right, quick one. We'll come back. Deep Purple tickets. How about we do this right now? 239-1070. Deep Purple. Coming up this weekend, I believe that is at the Miraul National Center coming up on Saturday night. It is called the Long Farewell Tour. Dun, 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 dun. You guys all learned this guitar riff thanks to Guitar Hero. See it live. Long Farewell Tour. We got caller 10 at 239-1070. Gets a pair. Back with you next.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
Engagement ring shopping is enough of a challenge for your average guy, but try doing it while on a ship deployed hundreds of miles away.
My name's Andrew. I'm a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy.
Andrew wanted to propose to his girlfriend when he returned, so he reached out to Diamonds Direct via email.
They had really great reviews while looking online, so I shot him an email telling him my story, that I was gone out at sea, wouldn't be back for 6 months. I gave her kind of my price range, and she was able to send me pictures and information about many different rings, and then I made my choice and picked it out.
Andrew made arrangements for a friend to bring him the ring as soon as his ship docked, and the proposal turned out to be a huge event.
And then the moment I walked off the brow onto the pier, my girlfriend was standing there, which is when I dropped to a knee and proposed to her. It was great. Hundreds of people there on the pier, and we were actually featured on the news.
Diamonds Direct.
They're extremely military friendly. If you're in the Navy and like me looking for an engagement ring, Diamonds Direct is an excellent place to go. They're going to take care of you.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hey, John for Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, live from the Winner's Circle. That's on Thursday. Brent Holverson's got his picks. We got Denary, we got JJ, and our guest picker in for me, Reds catcher Tucker Barnhart. Winner's Circle coming up on Thursday downtown, all a part of the Larceny Locks and the Luna Azul Tequila Shots. 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Come share a Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party next Monday from 5 until 7 at the Meijer in Zionsville, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet a current Colts player and have a chance to win tickets. Live from the Winner's Circle downtown this Thursday, 3 until 6, it's JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots while making your sports bets of the week.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
Let's talk for a minute about stock market volatility. Hi, Rick Edelman here. You can expect to see market volatility, but don't let it frighten you out of your investment and retirement accounts. Now, I'm not making light of volatility. We get it. It's unsettling. But volatility is really simply a routine part of long-term investing. And the best way for you to avoid stock market volatility? Don't have all your money in stocks. That's why here at Edelman Financial Engines, we're careful to give our clients highly diversified portfolios, placing only a portion of assets into stocks. This helps give you the confidence that stock market volatility is really nothing to get concerned about. We've been helping thousands of clients just like you for 33 years. So come talk with us at Edelman Financial Engines and let us help put your market worries aside. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Hey, this is Dan Dockage for Steffi Hadaway Insurance. Did you know Steffi Hadaway sells life insurance? If you're like a lot of people and think you've waited too long or can't afford a life insurance policy, then you should talk to Mike Steffi and his team at Steffi Hadaway Insurance. They represent dozens of life insurance companies who can tailor a life insurance policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call Steffi Hadaway at 317-334-3743 today or shiagency.com.
With mortgage rates in the twos, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Golden Oak Lending has lowered mortgage rates to 2.875.
And that's a fixed rate. This is James Hawkins. If you're struggling with credit card debt, we can help you pay it off at a low rate.
At 2.875, now's the time to fix the house. Finish the basement. You have so many choices.
We're easy to work with, and we'll give you a free mortgage checkup right over the phone, so you can find out exactly how much you can save. Or apply online at goldenoaklending.com with our fast Zipline mortgage.
Call our Indy office at 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Our experts will walk you through it all. And if we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, FHA 15-year fixed, APR 3.915, 20% equity with approved credit. Regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Hey, get that real growing hair again right now with PAI. Darren Andrews with the private consultation that's going to get that hair growing again. The number 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairND.com today.
So, you're a Cubs fan. Well, hold on to your helmet nachos because Marquee Sports Network is coming with more Cubs than ever. In fact, more is a bit of an understatement. A huge home runs landing on Waveland-sized understatement. Because Marquee Sports Network will bring you pregame, postgame, game, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and on top of the scoreboard. A network as dedicated as you. Marquee Sports Network, the exclusive new television home of Cubs baseball. Coming February 2020.
Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets. Stop by the Hinkle Ticket Office weekdays from 10 to 4 or call 317-940-DOGS to get your Butler basketball tickets.
Hey, join us tomorrow. I got a lot of weird stuff, including What the Hell Wednesday. Today, our intern Jay told us that Bob Knight is the Buddy Rich of college basketball. Weird like that tomorrow.
The Ride with JMV.
And you can tell Rolling Stone magazine that my last words were, I'm on drugs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome back. The anything goes wasn't that bad. I know I did. Somebody wanted to ask about the whole NBA China thing, but I gave my answer, and I think once again my answer is the right answer for everybody. And our sanity, right? And our as sports fans, what we care about is the hoopage, right? And the other stuff, you let the political folks handle the other stuff. We'll care about the hoopage. Turn this up right here. I got a great question. Jeremy Hadley writes this. If you could take any 4 MCs, live or dead, and make a super group, who would they be? Hashtag anything goes. All right, here's one of them's right here. Would absolutely be Eazy-E. I would take Eazy-E and I would take Ice Cube and I would put them back together. So we're going to say the super group is 4 or 5. You say 4? So I've got Eazy-E. I've got Ice Cube. I've got Rakim. And then we've got some issues here. Who in the world am I going to put in? And I know a lot of you are going to say, what, you putting Eazy-E in? No, listen, Eazy-E was great. I mean, great. And I'm not just taking him because he's no longer with us. I'd probably put Chuck D in there. Now, the problem that I have when I put those 4, so I got Chuck D, I got Rakim, I've got Ice Cube, and I have Eazy-E. Now, part of the issue is you can tell at what years I actually grew up and really enjoyed it, right? Because that's kind of the wheelhouse for them all right here. So I'm leaving out Biggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, Eminem, Scarface, Slick Rick. I love Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Andre 3000. I'm leaving out a lot of folks here. That was a great question. I'm glad you brought it up. Common. This is off the top of my, the guys that I'm leaving out. LL Cool J. So those are some thoughts right there. Those would be my 4. My super group of those 4, alive or dead, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Chuck D, and Rakim. Thank you, Jeremy. I hope that answered your question adequately. I didn't know if you want me to go 5 or not, but I thought 4 was adequate. Matthew Reeves writes this: how excited are you for the bench of the Pacers? I know it's preseason, but a 70-point quarter with reserves. And they didn't have a 70-point quarter, did they? Half? They had a 70-point quarter. They're going to win the NBA title. But I get what you're saying. Yes, I am incredibly excited. I'm telling you, if you watched, especially that Saturday morning game, you must be the most butt-tight, curmudgeon-y, negative individual ever, because I don't care if that was a preseason game, and I don't care if it was in India, and I don't care if it was against Sacramento. It was an exciting and uplifting and a very enjoyable game to watch, which makes you think that this season for the Pacers might be even better than what you thought it was going to be. And you didn't even think about Vic. Then add Vic into the equation. Rick DeMulling, JJ, Joe writes, you guys are awesome. Kyle, great job out of you. I'm back in here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Ready to trip the light fantastic once again. See if I can get my knees moving for a little hoopage tonight. Rays, Stros, only baseball tonight, and we'll update you on that and more tomorrow at 3.
Coming off a huge upset win.
The Colts knock off the Chiefs tonight in Arrowhead.
The Colts hit the brakes, tied for first place in the AFC South. And now, with time to heal, the boys in blue return to action a week from Sunday as rival Houston comes to town. The Colts and Texans play for first place in the AFC South. Catch the game here